answer this question. All right, what guitarist was buried with Eddie Van Halen's Van Halen 2, the album, the guitar that's on the cover of that album? Who was buried with that? 215-263-WMMR. We will go to Todd, see if we can get the answer. Hey, Todd, good morning.
Hey, guys, what's up? I would be Dimebag Darrell.
Dimebag Darrell.
I never knew that.
Never knew it. Nick asked me that question the other day. I had no idea. I am assuming he and Eddie were very, very close, and that's how that happened, Nick?
Yeah, and then Eddie, Steve, you're like this. He put it in Darrell's Kiss coffin. He was buried in a Kiss coffin.
That's
with
perfect.
Yeah, with Eddie's guitar.
Yeah.
All right, so Todd, hang on. We're going to give you a $50 Rita's Italian Ice gift card. And Rita's new peach ring ice is peach perfect. You can put a peach ring on it with gummy peach rings right on top. This new flavor is here for a limited time, so stop by Rita's today. We'll begin with the SAG-AFTRA stuff. President Fran Drescher is speaking out against Disney CEO Bob Iger. The nanny actress spoke with Senator Bernie Sanders over live stream on Tuesday night about the studio executive who called actors' demands, quote, not realistic, hours before the SAG-AFTRA strike was announced last week. She said he stuck his foot in it so bad that you notice none of the other CEOs are opening up their mouths. There he is, sitting in his designer clothes and just got on his private jet at the billionaire camp, telling us we're unrealistic when he's making $78,000 a day. She said, how do you deal with someone like that who's so tone deaf? Are you an ignoramus? I don't understand. We need someone with character and courage to go into those boardrooms and say, listen, we're doing this all wrong. Why are we doing this anyway? We're in the business with these people, and they are who we are building our business off of.
So, you know what? In all this, the maelstrom of stuff that occurred at the beginning of this, one executive, and I don't know if it was Iger, apparently said the plan was to force people on the lower end of the pay scale to lose their apartments. In other words, to wait out the strike and put them into complete financial duress so they'd have to agree. He made this statement. And I don't know. I don't want to say it was Iger if it wasn't, but it was one of these high-powered Hollywood players who basically said the method would be to drive him into the ground financially.
Wow.
So that they would have to renege and go along with whatever deal they got.
That's hard.
I mean, that's brutal.
Yeah. Ellen Pompeo, by the way, isn't letting Netflix get away with not paying actors residuals. The Grey's Anatomy star took aim at the streaming platform when a Meredith Grey meme was shared on the company's TikTok on Tuesday. The meme features an image of Pompeo's character crossing her arms and looking displeased, and the caption reads, "Me when there's a bomb in the chest cavity," and that refers to an episode of season 2 in which she sticks her hand into a patient's chest to prevent a bomb from going off.
That seems real.
Pompeo brought the SAG-AFTRA strike to the comment section when she wrote, "Also me when Netflix doesn't pay actors residuals." The actress said that she also wrote, "Holla, let's talk." So she took a quote from you, Nick, and said, "Holla, holla, let's talk."
I actually had a phone conversation with Rob McElhenney yesterday because he's in town next week for the Wrexham Union thing, and they have stopped the Sunny podcast. They have stopped Mythic Quest. They have stopped Sunny, and they are right on the cusp of doing the next season of the Wrexham documentary.
Yeah.
That is also on pause. So Rob, who is always busy, he's like, I'm on a weird holding pattern. Like, I don't quite know what to do next other than, the Wrexham matches.
Do we know how that affects the date in Philadelphia for the Sunny podcast?
That's a great question. No, I don't think that we do.
All right, well, we'll talk to him next week.
Yeah.
We'll have to ask him what the story is with that. According to Page 6, Joe Manganiello
I have never been able to say that name correctly.
filed for divorce from Sofia Vergara on Wednesday, just days after the former couple announced that they were going their separate ways.
Did you want to kiss me?
Court documents state that the pair had a prenuptial
You want to kiss me?
agreement in place and that each party will keep the assets that they amassed during their time together.
So he's got money, but she's got money.
Yeah, so
she was actually fairly wealthy early on in her career.
Yeah, she did. She was a famous model.
Yeah, she was a model, and she had a modeling agency.
Yeah, so she's done very, very well for herself. On a recent episode of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta,
Favorite show.
I know it,
Yeah.
Jessica White told her co-star, Safri Samuels, that she was not allowed to date other people while she was in a relationship with Nick Cannon, but he was. She said, I was in an 8-year relationship, so I'm kind of getting out of that. Like polyamorous, I wasn't allowed to have other partners, but he was. And this comes after the
That
model.
doesn't seem fair.
No, but if you can get that set up,
Yeah, talk to my lawyer.
Yeah. This comes after the model accused the Wild 'N Out star of emotional abuse in June.
All I'm saying is I get to bang anyone I want, and you can't.
Yeah.
What's so hard about that?
Can we talk about this?
I came halfway.
All right, so John and Kate plus 8. We haven't talked about that in a little while.
while.
One of the kids, Colin Gosselin, appeared on a recent episode of Vice TV's The Dark Side of the 2000s.
I want to see this series.
You know what? I've seen it on the guide, and I haven't gone over there to watch it yet.
So they did the dark side of stand-up comedy, which was terrific, but they're going to take all of the scandals, all of this stuff, the John and Kate plus 8, and go through all of it.
So he's on this, and he claimed that his mother sent him to Fairmount Behavioral Health Institute in Philadelphia when he was 12 years old because he was speaking out about her abusive behavior at the time. So he said, and this is what he says as they're filming it. He says, I was starting to tell my teachers that, my mother was, and then he pauses and says, can I use the word abusive, or are they not allowed to use that on air? And someone behind the scenes says, are you trying to say your mother was abusive to you? And he said, well, yeah, that's kind of the reason why she sent me away. I was starting to tell people what was going on at home. And, she caught wind of that and had to put me somewhere where I wouldn't be able to get the secrets out.
Wow.
So I don't know if that means physical abuse or emotional abuse or what that's all about.
I remember when the show, and you watched it a lot, Case, didn't you?
And I can't stand her.
Right,
And I
and
think-
she was very abusive to him, to John.
Yeah,
there are tons of clips of where they're just sitting there on the couch and she's complaining about him breathing.
Did you just see that? Because
Yeah.
that just ended up on my Instagram
Yeah.
feed earlier this week, where
I forgot about that.
they're doing a testimonial,
Yeah.
and they're just sitting there. He's just sitting there, and she's like, just whips her head, and he's like, "Will you shut up?" And he's
Yeah.
like, she's like, "You're breathing out." I was like, "Wow, I can't
Sometimes
stand."
people breathe heavy and it's annoying. I'm
Okay.
not gonna.
You're just doing that for funny. But she is a total.
Say it.
Say it. C word.
Yeah.
Okay.
Marissa?
I saw one of the sisters speak out and said that she would like lock this brother in a separate room, and
can't
he
do
like
that.
he wouldn't be able to eat dinner with the kids. He would eat dinner separately and like not have playtime with them.
Isn't
So
he?
it was, like,
Wasn't
that
he?
kind of
Marissa,
stuff.
isn't he with John Gosling at this point? Isn't that the case? Didn't they split up some of the kids?
I don't know, but I do remember that some of them left to
Well,
go live with him. Yeah.
He's older now. I mean, this was when he was 12.
Yeah.
So that was in the 2000s. So
Who
I
gets the
assume
kids
some-
after they turn 30?
But I mean, that just sounds like kind of standard punishment to me, though, Marissa. I mean, I don't know unless it was all the time.
I think it was all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't just
Interesting.
like today you were separated.
You were bad.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Well, we'll see if there's more that comes out. So that's on the dark side of the 2000s. That's on Vice TV. Salma Hayek, Casey, you love her. I love her too. She's great. She told Kelly Ripa on the Let's Talk Off Camera podcast recently that she practices a strange form of meditation.
Does it involve the jugs, Preston?
Well, it involves parts of her body. So during which energy is dancing through her body, and that this prevents her from seeking out Botox injections.
Interesting.
And she said, I do a lot of the frequency machines,
And the frequency machines.
and they work on me better than anyone. Now, I looked up frequency machines, and I didn't find what I think she was talking about. I know that there are audio frequency creators.
So I have a machine called the Beamer, which is a mat athletes use it.
Yeah.
And that uses sort of an ultrasound type of frequency to increase circulation in your body.
Okay.
Is that what they're talking about? Do you
I
know?
couldn't figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure. She said, so I use these frequency machines, and they work on me better than on anyone. And just the meditation. Sometimes when I'm doing it, people tell me I come out of the room and, oh my God, you look 20 years old, she said. And then she said, when I don't meditate for some time, guess what? Not only does the face start to drop and everything starts to drop, but also my herniated disc, the problem in my neck, the problem in my hip, my ankles comes back, and I start breaking down.
Well, there's something up on the screen here that kind of called up. Does this? I've never seen anything like this. It's like like a staff that vibrates as you hold it.
Almost looks like a shake weight.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it doesn't seem like you would use that in meditation.
No.
So I think that this is a sound generating. I pulled up a couple of videos to see what it was, and it was like kind of this. Yeah, like that. Yeah,
Whatever it is, man, it's working.
My God,
yeah.
Nick pulled up a picture of her on Instagram, and she does not mind posting pictures of her body, which why wouldn't she? Because she looks amazing.
Have you seen the episode of the Black Mirror this season?
No, it's on
She
my list
figures
to get on
prominently.
there.
Yeah.
She's great in it.
She's
too.
fantastic.
And funny.
Her
and-
body features probably. Okay.
No.
Yeah.
Just her.
Yeah.
But if you want body shots, go to her Instagram account because she looks phenomenal.
Steve, on the show yesterday, we were talking about women who overly produce milk, and you had mentioned wet nurse. And I remember, I'm pretty sure it was her, where she was in like a village in like South America or Central America where there was a baby that needed to be fed, and
She stepped in?
it was not her baby, and she just whipped it out. And
I got
fed the
this.
baby.
Yeah. Wow. I've not seen or heard that case, but I don't doubt it.
I'm sorry, we're watching a video of her dancing around in a swimming pool in a bikini right now. I'm saying.
Pizza party.
All right. Travis Barker recently teased a potential name for his and Courtney's baby boy. The couple announced in June that the 44-year-old Keeping Up with the Kardashian star is currently pregnant with their first child together. And during this sit-down with his teen daughter, Alabama, the 47-year-old Blink-182 rocker was asked to share what he thinks it's the greatest baby name.
I have two impressions I can go with here, Case.
I know.
Yeah.
And he said, I like Rocky 13. He told that to Alabama, who instantly disapproved.
You mean the prize fighter?
He said, she said, that is so bad. And then he said that the name just keeps going through my head. So he loves it. And
Attention ship identifiers now.
This is the Janice Fair.
oh my God. Alabama.
Close your gun ports or we will fire.
Dude,
gun ports.
that is a movie I would watch.
Yes.
Yeah?
Stallone and Caitlyn Jenner as warring captains in space.
Oh, that's fantastic.
You can't do that!
That's fantastic.
I don't know if anyone's ever told you this, but you look like Bruce Jenner.
Alabama looked into the camera and assured to viewers that her father knows it's bad. And Travis admitted that the name is bad, but he went on to share why it appeals to him.
Yeah, what does it mean?
So he said Rocky George played guitar for suicidal tendencies, and 13 is just the greatest number of all time.
So she's just Alabama without a number, right?
Yeah, and Alabama said, so you're going to name your kid Rocky 13? And he said, possibly.
Yeah, no. Courtney's not going to sign off on that.
No.
Weeks prior, Travis got fans excited after he stated that he already knows his and Courtney's son's name. She may not be opposed to naming their son Rocky 13, as she gave 3 children she shares with her ex-boyfriend Scott Disick unusual names. So they named their youngest son, by the way, Rain Aston Disick. And Rain is spelled R-E-I-G-N.
Okay.
Mason and Penelope have unique middle names. Mason's middle name is Dash, and Penelope's middle name is Scotland.
All right.
So as for Barker, he and his ex-wife Shannon Moakler named their daughter Alabama after the lead character Alabama Whitman from True Romance, which I didn't know that.
There are a lot of just either nouns or places in these families.
Yeah, sure are, yeah.
Sure.
And by the way, Rocky 13 sounds like a never-produced sequel.
That's
right?
what I was thinking.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah. Because, is it Back to the Future 2?
Yes.
It's because he says Rocky 5,000.
Meanwhile, their 19-year-old son has the more traditional name of Landon, and he also has a stepdaughter, Atiana.
I know you people in North Korea don't like me, but I don't like you much none neither.
So he's fighting in countries that are
Yeah.
Russia,
5,000.
Communist China, North Korea.
His stepdaughter, by the way, is his birth father is boxer Oscar De La Hoya. So there's a connection there.
His daughter is Oscar De La Hoya?
No, his daughter's father, his stepdaughter's father.
Wait, what?
And who's the mother there?
Shannon Moakler?
Shannon Moakler.
Okay.
Yeah. I think so.
I'm so confused.
I assume so.
So where does the captain of the Titanic fit into this?
All right. So we'll see if Rocky 13 sticks.
Yeah, I want to see about that.
So people keep asking whether Keanu Reeves' band Dog Star's back, and they really haven't had an answer until now.
I'm thinking I'm back.
They're back.
Right.
That's a John Wick. That's a line from John Wick.
One day after playing at the LA venue, the Roxy, the band announced yesterday on Instagram that they will embark on an international tour this year and release their first album in over 2 decades. They wrote, "We are back.
We are back."
And we are so excited to announce our new album, Somewhere Between the Power Lines and Palm Trees, which is out on October 6th on their label Dillon Street Records. And then they kick off a 25-plus date headline tour. They will be playing Philadelphia at the Underground Arts on December 14th.
Oh, mother effer. If we can get a Keanu case.
I know. All right. So what day of the week is that? That
Don't know.
is
probably a weekend.
It's a Thursday.
Oh!
Where are they at the night
14th.
before? Ooh, and they're off the day before that.
Okay.
We're looking at the dates, right? Looks like the 12th, they're going to be in Boston. They're off on the 13th, here on the 14th. You know, Keanu lived here for a hot minute.
I know,
He was
yeah.
he was a resident at the Hedgerow Theater.
I remember you
Todd
telling us
Brad,
that.
our old intern, was a resident there. So
Yeah.
he lived in like Wallingford and was an actor at the Hedgerow.
So come on.
He has a,
He has a connection. He owes it to us.
See if there's anybody at Hedgerow who we've given some love to over the years that might, nudge him to call in or stop by.
Yeah, I don't want a phone call. I want him to come by.
And what's
Yeah.
the venue? You said, Preston?
Underground Arts.
Oh, cool. All right. Yeah, I saw them at in Dewey Beach in 97, 98. So I told you guys
Did he have
that
the
story.
shaved head and the eyebrows for Matrix?
No. Remember I told you guys the story where if I got the girl close to the stage, she would repay me with sexual favors?
Yeah.
That happened? So that I want to tell him that story. So thanks for the blow.
Okay,
I really didn't need to hear that.
You got blow pop.
I got a blow pop. Yeah.
So the band said it feels like a fun summer song to us. It has an meaning the new song "Everything Turns Around." By the way, they announced that they are releasing that single. They said it has an uplifting message and positive vibe that hopefully makes your day a little bit brighter. And it's one of our favorite songs to play live, and can't wait to share it.
Thank you, Steve. You make each day a little bit brighter.
Upcoming tour. The trio, completed by vocalist, lead guitarist Brett Domrose and drummer fellow actor Robert Mailhouse, formed in the early 1990s with Reeves as its bass player, largely riding on Reeves' movie stardom. The band put out 2 albums, toured and performed on Live with Regis and Kathy Lee and Jay Leno's The Tonight Show before giving what was called a last performance in 2002 in Japan.
That's cool. He has what I like about there's so much to like about Keanu Reeves, but like the Bill and Ted's thing, he loves that. He went back and did that. He had fun with Dog Star. He's going back to do that. So
New kaboom, man.
New kaboom!
Yeah.
For crying out
Oh,
loud!
dude, when
Great
the
character.
video with him and that kid.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
You're my favorite star, and he's just he's terrific.
Yep. So Netflix enjoyed its biggest springtime spurt in subscribers
Spurt.
since the early days of the pandemic 3 years ago, proving the latest sign that a recent crackdown on password sharing and the rollout of a cheaper subscription option are paying off for them.
I bet you it's more the password than the cheaper subscription option.
Yeah, that people
Yeah,
are
they're
forced.
having to own up.
The video streaming service added 5.9 million subscribers during the April to June
They were
period.
there. They just weren't accounted for.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I know the people that have Netflix and Hulu, and
That's me.
But they have it in multiple. They have 2 houses.
Okay.
So they have a house here, and then they have a house down the shore. They were not able to use it down the shore, and we got into a nice debate about that.
No, I think if you
If you own it, you can own it anywhere.
you should be able to
Yeah.
port it to another house if you paid for it.
Yeah,
I agree.
And so they were not able
If
to.
mansion people can do it,
Why can't we?
why can't we?
Well, and they if you just use the 2-step identification thing with the phone, you can find out that the person is legitimately where they need to be.
That's it.
The only thing I'm watching
for
on
the most
Netflix now is Black Mirror. I don't think I'm going there for much of anything else lately anyway.
Do you know what
Yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt.
No,
I
no.
bounce around from streamer to
Yeah.
streamer because here's where this show I
Right.
like is now, and I will be here for a
Yeah.
bit.
So you're on Max. No, not are you? Where are you watching
From?
from?
MGM Plus.
Okay, MGM Plus. So when you are going to just putter around.
I know. It's a lot of people have never even heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah, which used to be Epix, which no one heard of before.
Yeah.
So, which streaming service will you go around just to putter around and see if something might be there that you like?
Netflix is an easy one to do
That's
because
me, yeah.
it's simple to navigate.
Yes.
And that's why I like going there. And Apple TV.
Apple TV as well.
Yeah, I go Max now. I think Max is a lot. It's
agree.
movies and
It's good
stuff.
too,
So,
right?
yeah.
So anyhow, also speaking of Netflix, the Hollywood Reporter says that they will no longer be offering their $9.99 ad-free basic subscription plan to new subscribers. The sign-up page reads, the basic plan is no longer available for new or rejoining members. If you are currently on the basic plan, you can remain on this plan until you change plans or cancel your account. Those seeking new subscription will have to choose between the $6.99 option, which includes ads, or one of the ad-free standard and premium plans, which is basically $16 or $20 respectively.
Hey, Steve, on Netflix, have you watched Bird Box Barcelona at all?
Oh, is it out now?
I think it's out.
I saw a teaser for it.
Oh,
I'm
is
not
that
sure
what
what
it was?
date it's
I have
released.
not. I'll tell you what I did watch was the film that was very much like Bird Box. It's with God, I'm having a brain fart. We love him. He was in The Devil Wears Prada. The bald
Stanley Tucci.
Stanley Tucci. Did you see that one?
No.
So it's very similar to Bird Box. If you make a sound, you I forget the name of it, but that was okay. I want to see Bird Box Barcelona though.
Yeah, me too. I'm on board for this for sure.
I just rewatched Bird Box. It's solid.
It's a really good movie. I agree. All right, and then what time we got? All right. One more quick story. James Cameron spoke with CTV News on Tuesday about his concerns regarding artificial intelligence. And the Titanic director alluded to his movie Terminator when he said, I warned you guys in 1984 and you didn't listen. He said, I think the weaponization of AI is the biggest danger.
That's really what initially caused a lot of the countries and a lot of these scientists to become very concerned was that its application towards the military.
And he said, I think that we will get into the equivalent of a nuclear arms race with AI. And if we don't build it, the other guys are for sure going to build it. This is like right out of Oppenheimer.
Absolutely.
And then it'll escalate. He said, you can imagine an AI in a combat theater, the whole thing just being fought by the computers at a speed that humans can no longer intercede, and then you have no ability to de-escalate.
You know, it's funny, years ago when we were doing the live broadcast, Preston, or the broadcast from the aircraft carrier John C. Stennis for the Pearl Harbor movie release, the big release of that, we were talking to some of the people and some of the fighter pilots and the captain, and they basically said at that point, that was years ago, the pilot, for the most part, a lot of times is just there to get a human visual verification on something that they're going to shoot at or take out of the sky. And that once you extract that, a human element, it can become very problematic.
Yep, most definitely. All right, we are ready for the clips. So Apple TV sci-fi series Foundation returned last weekend with the premiere of its second season. And here, Leah Harvey talks about her character's reunion with her mother.
It's great because, you know, we didn't work together so much in the first season. So we do get to explore that relationship in all its facets and also as actors, you know. So it's been really lovely to just explore that even more. It's been great.
Oh, shut up, mama.
Foundation Season 2 is available on Apple TV Plus now. Here's our next clip. Don't look now, but Bird Box Barcelona, the sequel to 2018 surprise smash hit, has arrived. Okay, here you go, Casey. It has arrived. In this clip, writer and director Alex Pastor recalls what it was like to bring the action of Bird Box to his hometown.
No, it's actually quite a lot of fun, to be honest, to turn the city upside down. And I also try to build a trip that makes sense, that if you're from here, you can understand the path that they're taking. And I think that the people that are from here and know the city well will get a kick out of it.
What I'm curious about, and they probably won't, is to whether they will show this thing that's creating all this havoc. I mean, in the movie in Bird Box, you
don't ever see it.
You never see it. And maybe they won't. And it's probably best if they don't, because keeping that mystery and letting you create what that is kind of a cool thing.
What if it looks like E.T. but with a goatee?
Oh,
yeah, like
a little more sinister.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill you.
Maybe it's as simple as that. But I had heard that the original movie was a metaphor for social media. That people are. There are a couple of clues. Like in the beginning of the movie, she's an artist, and it shows a painting that she's doing. All these people kind of look distressed. And if you go back and look at it, it looks like what they might actually be looking like at are screens, like looking at their phones.
Interesting. I just watched it again. I didn't notice that.
Yeah, so with that in mind, if you do watch again, think about that's kind of what a metaphor for the whole thing.
Could the creature that we don't see be Invisible Tom from MySpace?
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I didn't even say that.
He's so upset.
Yeah. Well, he used to be everyone's friend.
Now
but
he's
not
everyone's
anymore.
enemy.
Not anymore. That's the tagline. He used to be everyone's friend.
Now he's everyone's enemy.
That's a great idea. All right. So we will take a break. We'll come back in a moment. We have a little pizza party that's going to happen this morning. Preston and Steve show, because Pizzeria Vetri is here, and we'll do some giveaways in conjunction with them. So stay put. We'll be back in a moment.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 W.
Studio.
Yep.
Fresh from our Acme Lounge.
Yeah.
Finally, we're getting to use it.
Yeah, exactly. They have arrived in our studio via the UK, and we actually hung out with them in London. They came by our live broadcast when the Eagles were playing, and we did a few days in London, and they are in town filming for their YouTube series, and they're great people. We love them. Give some love to Joel and Leah, who are here.
Thanks for having us.
Hi, guys. How are you?
We're good. We're even happier you've used that music.
Yeah.
Of
That is
Very royal.
Iconic. As soon as it came on, I was like, this is incredible.
Any American show, whenever, and this has been for decades, whenever they go to London or England, there is a stock shot of Big Ben, and that's the music that plays to show the transition. It is almost guaranteed.
They'll show a car going across Tower Bridge, and
and that's it.
The music
every
gets
time.
played.
Oh, I know where we are.
Mhm.
And of course, you'll hear like Paris. You get the Eiffel Tower.
Oh, yeah.
All the stand. Oh, here's where we are.
Yep, every time. So listen, you guys, when did you get to the States?
Tuesday.
On Tuesday.
Yeah.
And
Tuesday.
flew into Philadelphia or New York, or where'd you go?
Yeah, Philadelphia. We got
Philadelphia.
detained. That was
Yeah,
fun.
detained.
I told Casey about it. It was, we were terrified. U.S. border control. So scary.
So detained. What did they?
Well, detained might be a bit dramatic, but they took us aside. They took our passports away, took us into secondary questioning.
Oh.
They separated us. They went through all our luggage. They were asking us all these probing
Joel,
questions.
my palms are sweating as we read
I know,
it.
same.
I get it. And we're so innocent. That's
And
the problem.
they don't smile at you, right? Like
No.
there's no like, don't
Yeah.
worry, we're just gonna. It's like you think you're, something. You've
The
done
thing to
something.
do,
Yeah.
and the way to deflect immediately, if you ever get in that situation, is say, we don't have any bombs.
Yeah,
And then
I've heard
and then
that.
they'll react. No, it is a weird thing, and I think a lot of people go through. I know I do. I'm always like, I know that I'm completely. There's nothing. It's clean, but
Yeah,
you're
but
like,
you're
you
nervous.
can't help it when they
Yeah.
start pointing their attention at you. You're going to start getting nervous.
I know.
Yeah. I
And
was like, Joel, we need to get our story straight. He was like, what story? we just tell the truth.
If you're not familiar with Joel and Leah, they have this YouTube series, and they do a lot of comparisons to American culture and British culture, and that's where they jumped on our radar, because they'll do fun things like sampling food. I watched a video this morning of you, Joel, driving in the United States for the first time.
Yeah.
And that was in Orlando,
gosh,
I
it's
think.
playing.
Yeah,
Oh
it
my
was. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Listen, when we went to London, after spending a couple days, in advance, I'm like, I'm wondering if I could be able to drive here or not. And after spending a couple days, actually 5 minutes, I'm like, no. Way would I be able to. And London is a major metropolitan area. So being able to drive in, maybe I could pull it off in the country, but in a
No.
city, forget it, man.
Really? You think you could do country roads? They are terrifying. They're
Are
so
they?
small and narrow, and you feel like everyone's going to hit you, and it's really scary.
Okay,
Do you know
I'll
what
just
happens?
write off the whole country.
Anytime, so years ago we'd gone over when Guinness was giving away. They used to have a promotion where they gave away pubs in Ireland. Like you'd get the
Wow.
pub, you'd get the whole business. And so we went over, and I don't think we even drove then, Preston. I think Marilyn's friend drove around.
Yeah.
Like, I'm always thinking of that story years ago when, remember, Matthew Broderick was over, and he was driving with, I think, Aaron,
yeah,
from
Jennifer
Gray.
Yeah.
And they were on the wrong side of the road, and they collided with the family, and it was a horrible story.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, because it's such a you've been driving so long here.
Yeah, you've trained your whole life.
My fear is I would just lapse back into the wrong side.
How did you like driving on the right side of the road?
It was scary, and I did start driving with one foot on each pedal because I drive a manual, so an automatic. And Leah was like, "Why is it so jerky?" And she's like, "Have you got a foot on each pedal?" I was like, "Yeah."
We
so
sound
I
like
forgot.
so intelligent on this show.
But it was easy in the end because your roads are wider. I feel like, especially in Florida, people don't get angry. There's so much road rage in the UK, and in Florida, they were just like, "Nah, you cut me up, it's fine."
It's really funny because Brits are quite polite. Well, we're kind of polite-ish, but then on
Not
the
in a car.
road, we have this alter ego where we feel like we can say anything behind the car.
And there probably is road rage here, but just where we were in Florida, they were just.
No, there is.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised to hear that there's a lot in England. Everyone does seem. I mean, obviously, you always make these sweeping general. Everyone's so pleasant, but you're saying that's out on the road behind the wheel. It's a different story.
Totally different story.
But you know what? It's probably not scary to you guys because you're just like, oh, you idiot.
Right.
Yeah.
So while you're in the area, how much time are you spending in Philadelphia and filming here?
So yeah, we have 6 days in total.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Which is kind of short, but we're hoping to just do all the touristy stuff, and obviously we're going to try Philly cheesesteak as well. So we haven't
First
done that yet.
time.
First time, yeah. So
A
excited.
Philly cheesesteak, you got to try several of them.
Yeah,
Several.
all of them.
There is, you can't. I mean, they're all over the place. And so,
Oh, wow.
But we can point you guys in the right direction if you need some places to go to. Yeah.
When you travel, because when we came over to London, you sort of feel compelled to do the touristy
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
But you don't necessarily get a taste of the city or the country when you do that. When you guys travel,
Thank you very much, Kathy. Before we dive into any chit chat here, I would like to remind you that we have the Presidency Belly Flop Championship taking place on August 3rd.
The return of
Valley Beach at Valley Forge Casino Resort. It is open to the public. You just have to be 21 and older. We invite you to come out and participate or just take in the spectacle. And here's the deal. We've got some entries. We need more entries.
We do.
I want to make sure that we have enough people to make the event a success. So we're a little bit low on the numbers, and we want to put the urgency out there that you need to get signed up for this now. And also just stress that I know when you hear belly flop, you think, well, I have to weigh, 280 pounds to do this.
No.
Not at all. You do not have to be a large person to participate and even win the contest, of which there are cash prizes. Right now, $500 for first place, plus more prizes to be added on to that. I'll get you that information shortly.
It can be you in a weird outfit. It can be you in just a bathing suit. If your technique is a winner, you get judged in separate categories. It's not just one method of judging each contestant.
Yeah.
You've got a good shot at it.
Style is what we're looking for. I like to see, how Jackie Bam Bam has the 1920s bathing suit.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I've never
would be
seen
awesome.
that. That'd be awesome.
So, whatever style you want, and if you know someone who does stupid stuff all the time, tell them to be a part of this contest because they might win. And it's for men and women. There you go.
There it is.
Men and women alike. And all you have to do is go to PrestonandSteve.com, and the information on how to enter is there. We just need a little info about you. You got to have a theme, whatever it may be. It could be something that's in the news right now. It could be something that's movie related, TV show related, whatever. Man.
Maybe you're just stunning in a bathing suit.
That too.
Do whatever you want.
Yeah. We had a guy that did a farm thing one time. Remember, he rode up on a little toy tractor?
Yeah.
That was hilarious. So whatever you want to be, one of the Village People characters. I don't care, man.
Yeah, this is not a Biggest Splash competition. This is simply a belly flop competition. So and I've judged in years past. I am not judging on splash at all. I am judging strictly on floppitude.
Yeah, floppitude.
Right. It's brought to you by Valley Forge Casino Resort. So let's get some contestants on board. If you know someone who should do this, tell them about it and send them in the direction of PrestonandSteve.com. Then we'll see you on the 3rd. It's a Thursday. It's not a late event. It's 6 to 8 p.m. Come on out, man. I know I'm going to be in drinking mode that day. So let's have you out.
This is along the lines of Cardboard Classic. This event is not an event without your support.
Thank you. So
I've been when we've done it in the past. I know some listeners have decided just get a room. You know, you can stay there, and if you're going to party and have a good time, why not as well stay at the Valley Forge Casino that night.
somebody has an interesting, and this is for off air sometimes, somebody has an interesting suggestion. We should do a cannonball contest instead of a belly flop contest. It could be one or the other. I don't know.
Interesting.
Something to talk about down the road. All right. In the meantime, I do have a lot of things to share with you, courtesy of the world-renowned Just Sayin Institute this morning. So,
the Nick McElwain Pizza Party Institute.
thank you to Pizzeria Vetri, who's going to be supplying the for the pizza party this morning. But I saw this article that was recently. It was an interview that was done, and a former senior executive at Google, has predicted that sex robots powered by artificial intelligence could eliminate the need for a human partner in the bedroom.
Well, we're right now all around this. Did this individual give a suggestion as time frame? Because there is stuff out there right now. You constantly see it in these tech magazines where they have things that look uncannily human.
He did not give a time frame.
All right.
His name
He's keeping them all for himself, isn't he, that dog?
His name is Mo.
Okay.
It's Mo Gaudet.
Okay.
Who is
this is my associate Shemp.
The chief business officer for Google's clandestine research and development arm called X.
Yeah.
He said that AI will usher in a redesign of love and relationships, in that people won't be able to tell the difference between real-life sexual encounters and those that are created artificially. Human beings will soon be able to simulate sex through virtual reality and augmented reality headsets such as Apple's Vision Pro or a Quest 3. The headsets combined with AI-powered bots will trick people into thinking that the sex robot is real.
Imagine spooning with a lover and then finding out that their butthole's a Keurig machine.
He said, just think about all the illusions that we are now unable to decipher.
It's true.
So I have a question. When it comes to
fraternity cases,
no. So for toys for men,
yes.
Are they able to replicate the sensation, the feel of a?
Having never tried any alternative, I would not know.
And then my question on the other end is for female things.
Right.
Does that even matter, right? Like, what is the most important thing for the female sensation?
So women using a toy, what is the most important thing?
I think it would depend on the woman.
Yeah, there are a lot of people. There are women that get different sensations,
I know.
different stimuli. There are some that
a pneumatic drill will get it done.
but here's
some are external and some are internal and things like that. you know?
Right.
Yeah.
But like, is like a temperature a thing?
Things that are mentioned when you see, and we've certainly done our fair share of bits about stuff like this. Temperature,
sure.
Lubrication.
Yeah, if you want it to feel authentic, I would imagine things like temperature would make a difference.
Yeah,
you know,
unless you're into corporophilia.
That's true too.
Yeah,
maybe. So anyhow, he said that if we can convince you that this sex robot is alive, or that the sex experience in a virtual reality headset or an augmented reality headset is alive, it's real, then there you go.
Why do you keep saying beep, beep?
He said that technological advances will enable computer-backed systems to link into the human brain and make it think that it is interacting with a peer. He said, if we think a few years further, and we think of Neuralink and other ways of connecting directly to your nervous system, and why would you need another being in the first place, he says.
So with this Neuralink stuff, and they're jumping all around it now. They have a way basically of wiring the internet.
Yeah.
Have you seen that, Preston?
I've heard about it.
Yeah. Where basically, Nick, when you give us the answers in the morning and Bill chastises you for making it seem as if you know all this, you will now know all this.
Oh, all right.
Because you'll be like Lawnmower Man. You'll be tied into the internet.
Right.
So I'll actually serve a purpose on the show.
That's crossing some lines. I don't know.
I'm frightened by a good portion of this, and I think that there is cause to be. But as you pointed out, the Oppenheimer conundrum here, Preston, is that
this escalates.
So if they're doing it and we're not doing it, what's going to happen?
Steve, I think you and I think a lot alike on this type of stuff, and sometimes have fears. But here's sort of what allayed my fears a little bit the other day. I was sitting on the couch watching some type of sci-fi show. I don't remember what, and I was thinking, you know, if it all does come to an end, we're not going to get much warning. Like, it's just going to...
That'll be great.
You know,
Yeah.
and so it's going to happen, and then it's going to be over with. And
My last word should be, what was that?
What's so funny is when you watch those like apocalypse movies or TV shows or whatever, and these people are fighting to stay in this crap world.
Yeah. Right, yeah.
I'm like, no, I want to be first wave dead.
You love this world.
Yeah, no, this world I love, but I don't want to live with zombies or factions of cannibals.
But think of the world you've predicted years ago, where we all operate on beer credits.
Yeah.
If you're in The Last of Us, Casey, you want to be on one of those planes that goes down. You know? And you're like, all right, that's no more zombies. I'm good.
I'm rewatching that again, by the way.
Are you? Which one?
God, The Last of Us.
Oh, yeah.
So good. By the way, Gaudet scoffed at the raging debate over whether AI-powered bots could be considered sentient, saying it's irrelevant if the human brain is convinced that they are real. He said, once again, there is that huge debate of whether they are sentient or not. And he said, does it really matter if the Morgan Freeman talking to you on the screen is actually Morgan Freeman or an AI-generated avatar if you're convinced that it's Morgan Freeman?
See, there again, that's the slippery slope. So the movie Blade Runner, based on the Philip K. Dick story, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? At the end, in the movie version, Roy Batty, who is a replicant, is not human, is a replicant. He's talking, and what makes him different? He has the same... Where is the delineation? You know, what you're made of? No. What if you're sentient and self-aware?
Right.
And that's the issue here.
Yep. But he's saying sex robots,
yeah,
and not being able to tell the difference are something that is probably going to be an
Can we slow
eventuality.
the roll and just make things that can give you a hand job?
Let's begin there.
Come on. Yeah, right.
Let's begin there, and then we'll move on.
In the hand job division.
Speaking of moving on, I got another story here from the Just Saying Institute. All right, and this doesn't involve necessarily sex, but it does involve dating.
Okay.
A University of Florida study has found the best way to get a second date. Researchers focused on heterosexual dating. And
Can I guess?
Yeah.
Have a first date.
Probably, yes. That's step one, have a first date. They found key differences between men and women as far as getting a date. Women tend to respond well to a man who listens, asks them questions, and is engaged in deep conversations. And they also respond well to, Kathy, politeness.
Oh, shut up, woman.
On the other hand...
Actually just be a human.
On the other hand, a man seems to enjoy when a woman gives him compliments, holds his hand, and flirts.
When we would have our mixers, the advice I would give is, you know how you talk to your friends and you have a conversation? Try that with whatever woman you're going to approach here. Be genuinely interested. Have a conversation because they're humans. And there's this thing, this sort of presupposition about what the interaction is going to be like that I think kills a lot of guys in that process, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, it's. I guess it's kind of hard in that immediate. I just met you. Are we going to be able to hook up? Type of thing.
Am I going to have to buy a robot?
Right, right. But dating is it's such a weird little dance that you have to do.
But once you get that ability to start a conversation and move it along and ask questions.
Yeah.
I actually, when I'm out with people socially, I like to ask them what's going on. I like to find out.
Yeah.
That to me is, and the same thing ports over to dating. How were you conversationally in your dating experiences?
Pretty decent.
Right.
I remember, literally going on a dinner date or something like that with somebody I barely knew at all. And so, my hard part was just getting to the asking them out. And
Would you write this essay for me?
No, is getting over the nervousness and the fear of rejection of asking someone on a date. Now, once I got the confirmation and yes, they agreed to go, I felt much more relaxed.
Right.
Because, okay, this person genuinely, they at least want to give it a shot. And so now that that nervousness has been lifted and I can be a little bit more myself and I can relax and talk. But man, getting over that first, because it's like, I just would take rejection so badly. It would just be a punch to the gut.
You're only human.
And I was afraid of it,
Yeah.
But once I got a few drinks in me, I would get the courage, and then it would either hurt or it would be great.
But Steve, you're right. That questions things worked, and it reminded me of the scene in 40-Year-Old Virgin when he's in the bookstore and he answers every one of her question, Elizabeth Banks' questions with another question.
Right. Yeah,
And she totally gets intrigued by it.
Yeah.
Do you like?
Yeah, right.
And he's like, oh my God, that works.
Yes. Just extend the conversation as best as you possibly can.
The study says, however, men and women seem to focus on different priorities. It says that women tend to be more concerned with makeup and being funny, while men try to be silly.
Look, I put a dinner roll on my ass cheeks.
Yeah. You're so silly. All right. Here's another study.
Tired of talking about swim spas.
From the Just Saying Institute.
Just saying.
This is not a study. This is more medical, okay? Plastic surgeon Dr. Scott Blyer of Long Island is offering what he's calling the full Barbie package for $120,000.
Oh, geez. All right. All right, what
so
comes with the package?
Yeah, this ain't a little one, kid.
By the way, the advance on the movie is terrific.
Oh, good.
Like, terrific.
Patients can transform into their version of the dream doll with a combination of surgeries, teeth whitening, and a classic Barbie hair dye job.
There have been women, a couple of them, that gained a fair amount of notoriety replicating that Barbie look, and they don't look human.
No, they look freakish.
They look freakish.
The ones that really try to slim the waist to a really kind of freakish looking
Does
thing.
not look normal.
No. The combination of procedures depends on the patient. He said for some, it may just be a breast lift or a Brazilian butt lift. For others, it's liposuction with a breast augmentation.
I think the most difficult thing for anyone to adjust to would be having their vagina sealed up.
And he said, and a couple of facial modifications. Yeah. Every Barbie girl gets transportation to and from the procedure in a pink Corvette as well.
Well, this is a big tie-in.
Yeah. Dr. Blyler said, you walk out looking as close to Barbie as we could possibly do it. There's some assembly required, he said. Oh, my God. Listen to the sound of this guy changing you into a Barbie
Wouldn't
doll.
you? That's a doctor I would trust.
Right?
Let's have some fun with this.
Wow. Okay. All right, something a little bit more serious and a little bit a little more promising from the Just Saying Institute. An experimental vaccine could eradicate one of the world's biggest killers, and that is breast cancer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so the 15 women with breast cancer who received this particular jab have been in remission for up to 5 years.
Wow.
Some of these women had to undergo rounds of chemo, radiotherapy, and mastectomies before receiving the experimental vaccine. The shot works by targeting a protein that is usually a precursor to cancer development. There have been some advances, or at least studies that have said there are advances in potential cancer vaccines.
So, in this case, you're saying they would have had to have had a mastectomy and all of this stuff. So it would appear that they've already had the cancer. This would not be a vaccine against it, right?
Yeah,
it would be a treatment for it.
Yeah, that's kind of what it says here.
Yeah.
So, it says some of these women had to undergo rounds of chemo, radiotherapy,
Right, so they've
and
already had
mastectomies
it
before receiving an experimental vaccine, as opposed to what you generally think of a vaccine is preventative
You don't
in the
get
first
it.
place.
Yeah.
But I have seen some stories here and there and read that they're getting closer to certain cancers, maybe creating a vaccine. How amazing would that be?
It's a dichotomy every time something like this is mentioned because you're like, I'm so excited. But for it to really be anything valid, it's going to take a decade.
Yeah.
For anything medical, you have to put it through its paces.
Yep, exactly. And there's been a few for things like Alzheimer's. There's been some advances in that.
See the recent one, this story came out. One of the guys who had was part of one of these big developments in Alzheimer's research, and unfortunately, there's a bunch of them. Yeah. But one of the ones of that initial list, he admitted data was fudged. And I'm like, you can't do that. Why? Well, because they get grants when they start to get traction, and it becomes a monetary thing.
Right.
I don't like it. I'm just living my sex doll.
Dr. Amit Kumar said we might be able to eliminate breast cancer as a disease, just like we have eliminated polio and smallpox. So they're working on these things.
Are they doing anything with hickeys?
Yes.
They are?
Yeah. The silver spoon method. You guys heard of that one, right?
You hold it to the hickey and it will make it go away. Does that work?
No.
Does it have to be silver?
Oh.
What are you, like a werewolf?
Or is it a cold spoon or something like that?
Spoon.
Also, because ice was involved, and then you could scrape it out with a fork. Which
Also, peanut butter works.
Oh, shut up.
That's what we told my friend
Somebody
Stu.
convinced you? Or you convinced someone
No, we
of
told
that?
Stu, in the middle of the summer, he had hickeys all over his neck. And we're like, yeah, no, peanut butter gets rid of it every time. He walked all over campus.
I was just molested by a dog. I just made out with a dog.
Oh, that's fantastic. All right, hang on here. This is from Cosmo. It says, all right, before you do anything, grab a clean spoon, throw it in your freezer for 8 to 10 minutes. Then, while your hickey is ideally relatively fresh, firmly press the cold spoon on the top of the affected area. It might feel kind of uncomfy, but even derms agree that you should trust the process. I mean, a hickey's a bruise. It's a hematoma, right?
Well, there's a certain point in time in your life where it's also,
away.
Kathy, a badge of honor, right?
Yeah, like a hickey from Kinnicky.
It's like a Hallmark card.
Yeah.
Care to send the very best.
Did you ever have a hickey situation?
Yeah, I had one, and I.
You slut.
Yeah, well, yeah, because I was not like
I
that
told Mom
at
I was
all.
playing Parcheesi.
And I tried to get rid of it.
Did it work?
No, none of it works. That's what I'm saying. None of it works.
girls
No
in
cold spoon is going to work.
Kat, these girls in my high school, they would come in, and I mean, it looked like they were attacked by Dracula over the weekend. And I'm like, how would your parents,
Right.
like, dude.
Turtlenecks in the summer.
Yeah.
What age case?
This is probably, I mean, from freshman through senior year, but probably more like younger, like freshman, sophomore year.
I was thinking 10th grade, 9th grade, in that area.
Oh, my God.
It's funny, Casey called Kathy a slut just now. Kath, would you and your friends use that moniker on each other? Oh, you little slut.
Oh, I mean, not in high school, but
No, I mean, like in your 20s and stuff like that. Yeah. I think it's funny as a joke between friends.
Yeah, sure.
You little slut. All right, let's see. We're moving on from that on to, man, I have a ton of things that we can go to here. How about this one? A study published in the journal Sleep Health found that habitual nappers had larger brain volumes. Researchers examined data from 35,000 participants and found that while brains shrink as we age, those who napped regularly offset this tendency by up to 6.5 years.
I have heard, and Dr. Mike has said a number of times, that people who nap for too much time during the day can actually cause physical issues, like maladies to arise because of that.
So with not your brain, but your body?
Yeah.
Okay.
At least that was the takeaway. So that there's only a set you can't take a nap for 3 hours.
Right.
Take a nap for 20 minutes. Yes, fine. But you can't sleep. I
can nap for 3 hours.
You're not napping then, you're sleeping.
Yeah, I know.
What about sleeping in shifts?
So it's weird. It's funny. Anytime I've ever taken a nap, Nick, I feel more tired.
Yeah, and I take a nap every day. And
Okay.
Some days it's normally refreshing and wonderful, and on other days it makes me feel terrible.
It's hit or miss, right?
It really is.
What
yeah.
time of day? Are you-
It's
what time of
usually
day-
like 2:30, 3 o'clock for me.
When you're driving home.
Yeah, on the road. Yeah.
Boy, I tell you what, man, there's a spot on my drive home where I could nod off every day.
Really?
I know exactly
Where
where it is. It's on the Northeast Extension, and it's about 4 miles from my exit.
It's terrifying.
I'm most of the way home,
Yeah.
and I just start, and I have every intention. I'm going to go home. I'm going to exercise.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. But when I hit that 4 mile from my exit mark, it hits me like a ton of bricks, man. And I just want to pass out.
Yeah. These hours are abnormal, and they just take their toll eventually.
When I do nap, and I'll do it maybe 3 times a week during the work week, I will set an alarm and I will not let myself sleep for more than 30 minutes.
All right, 30 minutes.
I'll set it at 35 because I know it's going to take me a couple minutes to settle down and actually fall asleep. But I don't like to go more than 30 minutes because I know that I'll pay for it later on. Staying up, most likely. Look who's on the line.
There we go.
Of course, the Just Saying Institute. He's one of our lead researchers. And he's a TV star at Fox 29 and Penn Medicine. Dr. Mike Sirigli. Hey, Dr. Mike.
You didn't mention I'm a graduate of whatdat.com.
Whatdat.net.
That's whatdat.net.
Whatdat.net. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so look, you hit it on the head, Preston. The bottom line is if you sleep, the studies show if you take a nap and you sleep for more than 30 minutes, you enter into REM sleep, and that disrupts your circadian rhythms. And that can really affect your sleep at night. A lot of older folks, they have a reversal of their sleep-wake cycle. So they sleep during the day, they're up all night, and it causes tremendous problems. So, Steve, you guys, absolutely on the money.
All right, excellent. It's rare that we get it right. So, but the truth of the matter is, you're talking actual physical ramifications from this, right? I assume that's what you're talking about long term, correct?
Well, the fact of the matter is, if you're sleeping during the day, you have to take naps. That means you're sleep deprived. And if you have chronic sleep deprivation, not only could it increase your risk of obesity and diabetes, but it can also increase your risk of dementia. And so you don't want that. The brain needs time to heal. And if you don't give it the proper amount of time to sleep, and that's, you know, a lot of people say, well, how much sleep should I get? I mean, most people say around 7 hours or so, no less than 5. And if you sleep too much, it's not good for you. So the bottom line is you want to try to get good sleep hygiene. Go to bed. Try to go to bed at the same time every night.
Right.
Get up in the morning, and that's what you do it. And that's why shift workers, and you guys kind of fall into that category a little bit because you get up at like 3 in the morning, right?
Yes.
To get to work and have a fabulous show that you have. The thing is that it's still dark most of the year when you get up, and that's not the way it was designed.
Could you replicate a night's sleep by watching one episode of Love and Hip Hop? Would that one?
You know what? I'm still mesmerized by the robot story.
Listen, you know what we'll do is we'll double date with our robots one time, Mike.
Yeah. There'll be a lot of there will be legal teams because the guy's spending too much time with the robot and not his wife.
Right. Absolutely.
Yep. Nightmare.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Dr. Mike, we love you. Thank you, sir.
Love you.
Love you. Mike Sirigliano. Once again, checking in. I love it. All right, just one more story, if you don't mind, from the Just Saying Institute. All right, so I found this very, very interesting. Moles, the animal, not the little thing forming on your body.
Moly mole.
Could be the key to reversing hair loss.
All right.
So you glue moles to your head?
No. Scientists from the University of California use the protein, how do you pronounce this? Osteopontin,
right,
which is found in moles to activate hair growth in mice and human skin grafts.
So do you puree the moles, or what do you do?
I don't think you mix them up or eat them or do anything like that.
You put them on a juicer?
The team is preparing for human clinical trials that will involve injecting osteopontin into the scalp.
That's good mole.
Dr. Maxim Plikas.
Wait, Preston,
put Plikas on that mole thing.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but it is skin moles.
Oh.
It's hair that's growing out of moles.
I thought it was the animal.
No.
Wow.
No, it's skin moles, according to NBCnews.com. Yeah.
Because hair grows out of moles.
Yes.
And moles, then they become creatures.
I hate the hair that grows out of moles.
Oh, my
it's
God.
disgusting.
I can't stand it. And I got about like 4 of them, 5 of them on my body.
I know.
It pisses
Kathy
me off.
has a full pull chain.
I know
on
she
her
does.
back.
Yeah.
But I
aspire
have-
to that.
You know, I don't have because I have thin hair, so I'm interested in this. I would love to have thicker hair on my head, but any mole that I have, and I don't have many that are elevated, hair doesn't grow out of them. But I wonder if that's part of it. Like, do you know what I mean? I have thin hair anyway, so
That's
maybe
interesting.
I'm not getting.
Yes, yeah.
Rochelle just ordered some kind of a product to help restore.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work at all.
I'm just saying, because not if they did, someone would be
I
a
know.
damn
Wait a second.
billionaire.
Is it the cap?
No. It's just it's a treatment. It's a shampoo or something. I don't know. But she says she's thinning a little bit there and wanted to try to.
I'm gonna
boost
text
that.
her, and
okay.
because I purchased one as well, and of course I read the side effects, and I get every side effect to anything ever, and my head was so itchy. I was like scratching my scalp. I'm like, this is not worth it. It's not working, and my head is too itchy.
Her friend is a stylist and has had the same issue, and she started using this and recommended it. So text Rochelle and she'll tell you what it is.
Okay.
I saw a video yesterday, and it was Matthew McConaughey, and he was showing off his hair in like 1999, 2000, and it was thinning. And then I think, and now it's thick and lustrous. And Jeremy Piven, that guy was losing his hair at one point. He was going bald, and now he's not. And so there must be treatments.
Was there any transplant stuff going on? Because
I don't know.
Yeah, that's what if
They
you're
transplant
seeing
from the
that,
back of the head.
It's probably transplants. However, like you remember Matt Lauer, you could tell his were transplants.
But that's like male pattern baldness, and with McConaughey and Piven, it was thinning.
Just
hair.
thinning.
Yeah, and so now they have thicker
but they
hair.
can still do. They can still put implants in. They all. You know what else they're doing too is tattooing the head. So it's actually filling. So that might also be something.
Why does it say Preston and Steve on your scalp? So Kathy,
No,
how
because it's
can
filling. When you tattoo it, it makes it look darker and thicker. It's not actually thicker.
That's like that felt spray. That you say.
remember that? Yeah.
There's actually a listener of our show who does this.
No kidding.
All right, so the problem is, though, let's say you eventually do become bald or everything, then you have tattooed hair.
I know. You would be left with
My guess
dark
is
splotches all over your head.
My guess is it's not like a permanent tattoo. It's more like how they do the eyebrows and stuff like that. It will fade over time.
All right.
They don't go. They only go into the first few layers of the skin.
All right, so I was way off at that. These are actual. I thought it was the animal, a mole, but no, it's moles on your body, the growths.
Take 2 moles and call me in the morning.
And so they're going to do these clinical trials. And
so what are they? Where are they getting the mole juice?
This is a good question. Maxim Plickus, the doctor.
Sounds like the worst gladiator ever. Maxim Plickus.
That's right. Now I'm gonna kill you with my sword, I will.
Nature.
Chop your moles off.
He said, nature essentially performed the most important experiment for us already. In millions of people, there are hairy moles that have increased osteopontin.
So, but it's true, though. So you have these moles where randomly, thick hair will grow out. And so if they can port that to your scalp.
Yeah.
All right.
I get this
it makes more sense than gluing moles to your head.
I got this one mole. It's kind of in my beard line. So
Does it grow hair?
Oh, yeah. And it's probably the part of my face that I shave the most. Because I don't like shave all the time, but I'm like, okay, time to shave the mole.
You have to be.
Yay!
Shave the mole.
Is that a band name right there?
I don't know if it's a band name or an album. I think it's more of an album
cover.
or a tour. It's to shave the mole.
hold my
tour.
calls. I'll be shaving my mole.
When you shave your mole, you have to be very careful not to cut it.
No.
Oh, it's a flat one.
Yeah. Well, it's a little bit raised.
Yeah.
But usually I will zap it with my electric shaver. And then I got a couple over here that are kind of in the beard line as well. But I just don't like the way they look coming out of my mole. I
never noticed them.
Well, it's because I shave them.
Yeah.
Hang on a second. I want to go to Tom. I'm not sure what he wants to contribute here. Tom, good morning.
Good morning.
What's up, buddy?
So I actually work for a clinic right now where we do PRP, which is protein-rich plasma, which we draw the blood right from you. I'm the one that does this whole process.
Okay.
We spin it down. We withdraw the protein-rich plasma, re-inject it right into the scalp to stimulate hair growth.
Yeah.
And then we use the old blood to microneedle that in there, and that's like the new idea on how to do hair restoration. We're not calling it replacement; it's restoration.
What's the result like?
Right now, we're seeing it's like mixed results. Women are having a way better result process from it. My wife is actually getting ready to do the procedure, so I'll have more information. Like I can tell people that. But after my son, her hair hormone changed, start losing it, so we're setting her up for it.
All right,
Tom. What's the difference in the verbiage there? Restoration versus replacement. What does that mean?
One, your hair is when you're replacing it, you're like literally taking grass and like. Doing the plugs. You're replacing the hair.
You're putting hair follicle. You're sticking already grown hair in place. Okay.
In this case, you're regenerating inert follicles.
Yeah, the protein-rich plasma. They're using it all over. They're using it in like orthopedic joints and such.
I want hairy joints.
Cell growth.
Okay.
So we figured out you can use it in the head to re-stimulate cell growth for hair.
Wow. Okay. Well, we'll see how that plays out.
It's something really interesting. It's like great. We use it for we use it for other reasons in our company too.
What's the name of your company?
Alpha Men's Center.
Alpha Men's Center. Interesting.
We
King of Prussia.
PRP. Yeah, you know me.
Yeah, we actually do advertising on your station already.
All right. Well, there we go.
Wonderful. Yeah. Excellent. All right, Tom. Thanks for checking in, man. Good luck with everything.
Thank you. Yeah.
Have a hairy day. We'll see you. See you, buddy.
So they advertise that with us?
I assume they do. Yeah.
All right.
Interesting. All right.
Is that are they the Jack selling for less people?
No, that's Del Chevrolet.
Oh, I'm
Del
sorry.
Toyota.
Yeah,
So it's
as
little
a
bit
matter of
different.
fact,
Yeah.
I'm looking at like 5 commercials.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hair selling for less.
All right, Jack.
That doesn't even make any sense. Is the guy's name Hair? Or are you just saying Hair? We should sell it for less.
We're gonna wrap up the institute. We got to close up the campus. So thank you for stopping by this morning.
Just saying.
Here's what I would like to do in honor of Nick's birthday. We're having a pizza party. Yeah, it's a pizza. And we have Pizzeria Vetri here. All right, and we have a $50 gift card to Pizzeria Vetri, and they have 4 locations, by the way. They're at the Art Museum, they're in Devon, Rittenhouse Square, and King of Prussia. We'll take caller number 16 at 215-263 WMMR. We'll give it to you. By the way, it is Crave Montco month, and you can enjoy special promotions that highlight Montgomery County's incredible restaurant scene, including Pizzeria Vetri in King of Prussia. So call now if you're interested. We'll be back in just a moment. Bizarre File up next.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Well, yeah, so everyone was banging on about the love sculpture here, and like, you need to see it. And then we got there, and it was just like this tiny little love sculpture.
We looked at it and we went, no, surely not.
Surely not.
Surely
but we do try to hit all of the touristy stuff.
Wait, so you didn't like the love statue?
We just
I
went,
thought it'd
no,
be
we've
huge.
not come halfway across the world for that. No, come on.
Like,
Make
it's all
it make
very
sense.
cute. Like, it's nice. Love's great. We love love.
Oh, we
But
love love.
It's just a very small sculpture.
You're right. It's not.
It's unimpressive.
Yeah, it's not like an art masterpiece. As in, wow, how did they make?
It's the
that,
word love.
You know?
Yeah.
But it's a nice positive message. It's,
Yeah.
you know.
We thought, no wonder they detained us at the airport. They don't believe we're tourists. There's nothing to see.
Right. They're just bored. But it's like the Liberty Bell, which whenever somebody comes here, you know, I never say go see the Liberty Bell. It's underwhelming. It's a crack bell. I get it. But there's a lot of stuff down there that, you know, and we did a thing years ago about people who've lived here all their lives and have not seen it. It's just, you know, so you will leave, I'm sure, seeing more than a lot of Philadelphians have seen in your 6 days here.
Okay. Do you guys do all the planning of what you want to do while you're here, or do you? Yeah, you do it.
So loose planning, don't we? And then most of it's just like make it up as we go along. But we will have a few.
And we get recommendations from our viewers as well. We rely heavily on that because we want to make videos for them. So we're like, well, what do you want to see?
Yeah.
So most of the times it will be all the touristy stuff. And we would like to go off the beaten track, but we don't often have the time to do that.
Well, I think that's the charm, is that you're doing the stuff that everyone says initially would say, I'd like to check that out. So these recon trips where you're going and you come here, and obviously most of what you do is predicated on the differences and similarities. How many times a year, you know, outside of a COVID scenario, would you make the trip to the States?
Yeah, we used to do quite a few, didn't we?
Yeah.
And then COVID just sort of meant that couldn't happen. So,
Maybe
what are we
3
aiming
trips
for?
a year?
At least
3 or 4.
Yeah, 3 or 4. That's cool.
Yeah.
I feel like 6 days, you can get like everything done and then some in 6 days here.
Yeah.
Like, no doubt. I don't even know what you've done so far and what you have planned for today.
So, what have we done so far, Joel? You're the map.
far-
Joel's the map. I'm just the wandering follower.
We went to Reading Terminal Market for
Okay.
breakfast.
Good cause.
Loved it.
That was nice.
Well,
and
did
then
you go to Denick's? Because there's a one of the shops in there has what has been labeled the greatest sandwich in the United States is
Wow.
at Reading Terminal Market.
Really? Did they just write that on the poster,
Yeah,
or did they actually?
They didn't write it. It was I can't remember which foodie or which but it was like
Yeah.
it wasn't a Philadelphian who said it. It was
Okay.
somebody who has toured the whole country and said this is
That
the
is the
greatest
best sandwich.
You will bet. I mean, there's a lot of great food here. That's one thing. I mean, Philly, over the course of the time that we've been doing the show, has become a real foodie city.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of great stuff to check out. And as Preston was right, you can't do one cheesesteak. You're going to have to do a
Okay.
couple.
Okay.
Yeah, well,
that's fine with
That's
us.
interesting. Yeah, I can see the title now of that video. We tried the best sandwich in America.
Yes,
That'd be
right.
quite good.
That'd be
Yeah.
good. We also talking about soft pretzels. Apparently that's a
Apparently
Philly
that's a thing.
Someone
is.
said tomato pie.
Yes.
And then I told that to someone and they were like, "What is
Yes.
that?"
That's
Is
what we
that-
call
Yeah,
it
what is
too.
that?
Tomato
Oh,
pie.
tomato.
Tomato pie.
Tomato pie. Yeah. So yes, it's kind of like pizza.
Okay.
Without the cheese.
Without the cheese,
Oh,
and it's
cold.
usually
It's
served
cold.
cold.
Yeah. So it's
and
really
it has a
nothing like
sweetness to
pizza.
it too.
It's sweet.
It's
yeah.
sweet.
really
yeah.
selling it, guys.
Yeah, it's unique and it's good, but
Corpalese.
You have to
Corpalese.
go
You gotta send
Corpalese.
it to Corpalese to get there.
Okay.
They're our favorite tomato pie for sure.
And the sweetness I think is what will surprise you. Is that it definitely has that taste to it. And it took a while for me to acclimate to it. You probably also have to do crab fries, right?
Ooh.
Yeah, chickens and Pete's.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
those
crab
are
fries.
good.
Why do you call us? We will give you a whole list.
Listen,
There's so much food
I
choice,
put
yeah.
her. I put Leah in touch with Marissa. I said she is Philadelphia, like
Right.
and anything and everything you need to know. And actually, because you're Greek as well.
Yeah.
One of her best friends owns a Greek restaurant, and it's what's it called? Hopa.
Oppa.
Yeah.
Oppa.
Oppa.
Yeah,
I love
and
that.
so she owns a nice restaurant in the city of Philadelphia. But like,
That's
if you
awesome.
really needed to consult anybody about anything you needed to see and do in the city, Marissa's your person.
Is there a Sixers game while they're here?
There's a Sixers, yeah, and LeBron James is in town.
Is
LeBron
that,
James.
wow, you're joking.
Yeah.
Wow, I thought I pretended to be a fangirl then, but that's quite impressive. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that like the Wells Fargo?
Yeah.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Well, I did do a little bit of research. So, yeah.
Where are you guys staying in the city, downtown?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So we won't say where.
No,
exactly.
exactly.
You know.
Yeah.
Last time we said where we were in a
Oh my
hotel,
gosh.
we just got so much food sent to the hotel, so maybe we
my
should
gosh.
say it.
Honestly,
We got
they kept
Cuban
calling
sandwiches,
us.
we got cheese, deliveries of just cheese, because we said on a live stream how we
We said
wanted
we were hungry.
cheese.
They
and
started
then-
sending food.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
So-
amazing.
Bruno Brothers.
That's very cool that your viewers are that
Yeah.
nice and that look
Amazing.
out
Oh,
for
they
you.
are, yeah.
We
And-
got to send them to Italian Market. Take a look
Yes.
at that down that way because you mentioned cheese. DeBruno Bros is down there, right?
Yeah, De Bruno's actually all over the place.
Are you
Yeah.
guys museum people?
Nah.
We've got a cool one. We've
There's
got
one
a
called
super cool
The
one.
Muter Museum. It's,
Yeah.
it's written like mutter, but it's pronounced Muter Museum, and it's oddities, and it's weird like medical
Medical.
anomalies and stuff like that. And it's a really cool building on top of it. So if you want to go see some weird, gross stuff, Philly's your place.
They have
like
like a
that.
gigantic colon.
Yeah.
I mean,
As a
literally,
matter of
I mean,
fact-
like I mean, the
Okay, wow.
weird. They have the skeleton of what was the one time the tallest man in the world? Yes, right.
Yeah, I was at the Casey Musgraves concert last night at
Oh,
the
wow.
Wells
Yeah,
at
I
the
saw
Wells
she was
Fargo
on.
Center, and she has been in town for the last couple of days. She went to the Muter Museum.
Oh,
and
that's awesome.
Mm.
Yeah.
If it's good enough for Casey, it's good enough
Enough
for
for
us.
us, yeah.
Yes.
We were reading all about her in Nashville at that country music museum, weren't we?
Yeah, we did.
So I say we don't like museums, we actually do.
Yeah, it depends. Just not modern art. I don't like modern art museums.
All right, we will.
We'll steer you that way. Well, I see that our callers are getting on the line, and I think I want to take this out for a spin because one of the things that always surprises us here is when we'll be watching a show, a movie, something like that, and you get to know a character, even sometimes over a few seasons. And then we'll hear an interview with them, and it turns out this person who we thought was from America is a Brit, and they have mastered the accent. And in fact, Kate Winslet, a show called Mayor of Easttown, which took place in this area, had to master not only just the American accent, but specifically, she took it from where Casey is from, Delaware County. We call it Delco.
Yeah.
So it's got a very specific accent, and she said it was the most difficult accent she ever tried to master, and she nailed it. She nailed it spot on.
I mean, she's
Amazing.
winning awards right and left for it. Yeah.
That's incredible.
So we wanted to do a game with you guys called Brit or Not a Brit.
Ooh, fun.
Gosh, okay.
We have a series of callers
Okay.
that are going to speak. We've given them something to say.
Oh, gosh.
Some of them are British and some of them are American, but they're all going to be attempting a British accent.
Okay.
Or
And
just
you
talking.
have to determine whether they are legitimately British or not.
100%
Okay.
Joel's going to be really good at this.
Oh yeah.
I'll
think,
try.
yeah.
I did a degree in
Particularly-
linguistics,
Yeah.
so
Well, there you go. That's
I
good.
love accents, but I say that I probably, I'll be terrible.
Okay.
Well, the
we'll-
funny
we'll
thing
find
is
out.
that as you know, because as you know, you're obviously spent a lot of time in the States. Obviously, there are different dialects throughout the United States. For England, for the size that it is, there are a tremendous amount of different dialects.
Yeah,
it's pretty wild.
Ridiculous.
Do you have a particular accent? If someone would somebody be able to pick out what region you're from?
I think they would say generic sort of south of the UK accent for both of us. Leah's got a
probably
slight
Midlands
twang.
yeah, I'd say I'm Midlands RP.
Yeah, so you're sort of in the middle of the
Yeah.
UK. So yeah, people could place us, but not so specifically. I think.
It's so funny when some of our American viewers are like, Leah, you sound like Adele. I'm like, I really,
Like
I really
Adele.
don't. I really
She's from a
don't.
completely different area.
But she's a bit sharper, right?
Yeah.
Do you guys have a favorite or least favorite British accent?
Oh, I love
Welsh.
Welsh. Oh, I love a bit of Welsh. I do. And I heard that Philadelphia's got a Welsh bit of history here.
Well, in fact,
Sure.
yes, where you're at, Balakinwood it's a Welsh name.
Yeah.
It's spelled Balacynydd. That's how you spell Balakinwood. So that's clearly a Welsh derivation. So.
When you mock, when you are trying to make like a classic stereotypical goofy British accent, which do you target for it? What region do you target?
You'd probably end up being Birmingham, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you like Birmingham.
Yeah.
And Birmingham has been voted as like the ugliest UK accent for years and years, which is so sad because it's a quirky accent.
Yeah, nice.
But no, I think
love
we
them
just go
all.
for a posh, like us, but
Right.
times 10.
Of course, I'm always doing when we do the royal family. We do
That's
the-
how he speaks.
Yes.
Pretty good, Steve.
Right, but I mean, so and everything that I do is a very over exaggerated thing because that's how it resonates with people. But I love the subtlety, so we'll see how you guys do with this.
You kind of do a little Cockney thing sometimes.
Yeah,
too,
now
so-
and then.
Yeah. It goes,
It's funny though. What is amazing, we learned about Cockney, and I was just watching To Sir with Love, again when Sidney Poitier passed away. That Cockney speak, that jumbled
That
word,
rhyming?
yeah.
Can you follow it, or do you need to be from the neighborhood to know what some of that stuff is?
It's almost like speaking in metaphors.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Things would ping out, wouldn't they? Like
Yeah.
apple and stairs, we know apple and pears mean stairs,
Yes.
things like that. But we can, if someone was actually speaking it, which I don't think I've ever met
It's
anyone.
kind
who
of
speaks
dying
to me
out
in it.
now.
Yeah.
So, like parents' generations that are from that area, then it kind of has now dissolved.
I
the
assume when you
Cockney
speak
lines
that way and you're calling for an ambulance and they can't figure out where you are, that's
Yeah.
why you're dying out. 'Cause
Yeah,
you
that's it.
can't get medical assistance.
All right, so we are going to play Brit or Not a Brit. All right, and we've got callers on the line, and here's the story. We have given them.
We had to play that.
We've given them lines from movies that are based in Philadelphia
Okay.
to say to you. So if whatever they're saying makes no sense to you at all, don't worry about it. It's from a Philly movie.
Preston,
so,
by happenstance, I watched both Rocky and the second half of Philadelphia last night.
perfect.
Yes, I'm all prepped.
You're up to speed
Yeah.
on this. All right, so let's get our first caller on the line. Is this the order that we're going in? Yes.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to go to Jen. Jen, good morning.
Morning to you.
All right, Jen, you are going to read a movie line for Joel and Leah, and let's see if we can figure out if you're a Brit or not a Brit. So go ahead, please.
You know what crazy is? Crazy is majority rule. Take germs, for example. In the 18th century, no such thing. Nada. Nothing. No one ever imagined such a thing. No sane person, anyway. Hey, look at this doctor.
Can't give a straight face.
No, she was good.
Okay, all right. Let's
She was
find
quite good.
let's find out officially.
So
Leah,
tragic.
Leah, what do you think, Brit or not a Brit?
I think not a Brit.
All right, and Joel, Brit or not a Brit?
Not a Brit.
All right, Jen, what are you? Where are you
not
from,
a
Jen? Where are you from, Jen?
I am from Newark, Delaware.
Newark, Delaware. Not a Brit. All right, so somebody keep score, by the way. All right,
They
I
knew
got it.
immediately. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was a bit over the top.
Wasn't bad though.
No, it was decent. It was just a, it was just a
93.3 WMMR.
All right, here we go. Bizarre file.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
All right, let us begin with this very interesting story. A woman's story of survival went viral on TikTok after she credited Kim Kardashian shapewear for saving her life.
Oh, no.
Well,
I know. Angelina Wiley, who's from Kansas City, Missouri, turned her terrifying story into a significant endorsement for Kardashian's Skims.
Thank you.
She said, Kim Kardashian saved my life. This New Year's, I got shot 4 times.
What?
The night I got shot, under my dress, I was wearing a Skims shaping bodysuit. Wiley said that her injuries would have been worse if she wasn't wearing her Skims bodysuit.
So they made a Kevlar?
No, but it was tight enough to slow the bleeding.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
you'll get shot. It'll penetrate, but it'll slow it like a tourniquet.
I guess so.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that stuff is really form-fitting, right, Kath?
yeah.
You
Well,
said you bought one and it was like
Do you know what movie those lines were from, Jen? Because I couldn't pick up
Yeah,
on it.
that was from 12 Monkeys.
12 Monkeys.
That was pretty hard, actually.
Yes. All
No,
right.
you did a good job.
All right. Is Jen Are we giving prizes away? Or
Only
what are
if
we
they
doing?
stump them.
Only if they stump them. Okay.
That's the way we do it here.
Wow.
Wow. She was really caught up in the moment.
And then a praying
What
hands
3
emoji.
letters can I send her? I know. Wow.
Dr. Richard Doyle, an emergency medical physician, weighed in on the story, told Forbes that it is feasible that a bodysuit of that nature provided some compression and allowed more time for Wiley to be transferred for treatment. A bullet does remain in Wiley's stomach, by the way, as it would be a higher risk to take it out than it would be just to leave it in. From the shooting, Wiley suffered, she said, a ruptured bladder that was repaired in surgery, a cracked pelvis that they are hoping to heal on its own, although that means that she will have to learn using a walker in the process. A bullet still lodged in her abdomen, not to mention the mental trauma that she will have to work her way through. But she says that it helped save her. So.
I just want to know why she was shot 4 times.
That's a good question. I don't know.
Why are you so unwrinkled?
Yeah.
Wait, you guys had asked about, like taking a bra off at night and you're like, oh, does it?
Do you ever have bullets fall out?
No. Like, is there relief or, and I don't really get that. The bra doesn't really bother me, but those things, like Skims or Spanx or any of that, like I cannot wait to get home and get that off.
I believe it.
How does it not make you feel, we talk about the weighted blankets. How does it not make you feel like you're claustrophobic?
Because most women probably feel more comfortable in what they're wearing with that under it.
All right.
A spicy appetizer called Dragon Balls at a restaurant named Coup de Thai, a Thai restaurant, is currently at the center of a lawsuit filed by a woman named Harjazleen Walia, who
my balls!
claims that the dish caused severe chemical burns to her vocal cords, esophagus, and right nostril.
So these are super hot and they're based on like fire-breathing Dragon Balls?
Yes.
Okay.
In her lawsuit, she states that she experienced permanent injuries and will be forever damaged. Walia is suing the restaurant and its owner, the chef who cooked the dish, the waitress who took her order, and anyone who in any way influenced, designed, prepared, or participating in creating the Dragon Ball dish, according to the lawsuit.
Wow.
On the menu, the Dragon Balls appetizer is described as a spicy chicken ball with mint, shallot, green onion, cilantro, kaffir lime leaf, and chili. It's priced at $11. The dish was advertised as spicy, so Walia requested less spice as she doesn't tolerate spicy foods very well. The server agreed to have the chef make the dish less spicy. However, Walia alleges that upon eating the Dragon Balls, she immediately felt an intense burning sensation in her mouth, throat, and nose, which led to her eyes and nose watering as well as coughing fits.
Did she violate protocol by not massaging them a bit first?
Walia was later diagnosed with internal chemical burns from the chilies and the Dragon Balls, as claimed in the lawsuit. In response to the situation, the supervisor at Coup de Thai, which I love that name.
It's a great name.
Yeah. Explained that the restaurant had
home of the Dragon Balls.
Never previously encountered a patron claiming that they had been burned by a dish and needed medical attention. The supervisor, Lucky Pryor, added that although the Dragon Balls appetizer is spicy, they do not use excessive chili spice, and it's not possible to make a mild version of the dish as the chili is inside of the balls.
So do you think at a restaurant where they have something that's particularly hot, if you ask them to prepare it less hot, do you think they actually do that?
That's why I've always had an issue with the movie Mrs. Doubtfire, because the love interest, what's his name? Who's the actor?
Pierce Brosnan.
Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah.
They're at a restaurant, and he says he orders jambalaya, not spicy jambalaya. And then he says, I'm allergic to spicy stuff. You would never order that in the first place.
Right.
You know, so, but I don't know. I wouldn't think that, maybe some people do. I don't know. We have a chef right here. Do people sometimes ask for less spicy stuff?
Yeah, absolutely.
They do.
Come here.
Okay. All right. Hang on a second here.
Thai restaurant? Like if you go to Nelby and Thai Thai?
Specifically at Thai restaurants, I feel like they're used to people asking for less, but there are certain ones in the city where, like, you can't ask for it to be less hot. They will not do it.
They will not do it. That's what I thought.
And this dish already has the chili and the balls.
Right. Yeah. It's the chili and the balls.
Yeah.
Remember that was a hip hop group in the 80s.
Yeah.
And
And
ask me that all the time. Can we take that out? Not all the time.
no, it's already in there. It's pre-made.
This is the way it's made. Yeah. All right. Thank you.
So they said that Walia, the lawsuit singles out that Thai birds. The Thai bird's eye chili as making the Dragon Balls unfit for human consumption. But I'm sure people eat it all the time.
You need to try our chilled dragon anus.
It alleges that the restaurant's owner, chef, server, and others involved failed to take precautions when serving an appetizer with a high amount of Thai chili. So anyhow, we'll see if this goes anywhere.
Will you?
I doubt it will. Thank you, Wall. Yeah. A North Carolina teenager who was recently caught attempting to use a popular cost-saving hack while traveling on American Airlines has now been grounded by the airline. A gentleman by the name of Hunter Parsons, the father of the 17-year-old, said last week his son was detained and interrogated at a Florida airport for skip lagging.
I've heard about this.
Also, Bill Weston was talking about this yesterday. Also known as hidden city ticketing or point beyond ticketing, which violates travel policies of most major airlines. Now, Bill was saying yesterday it's illegal. I don't think it's against the law.
Couldn't see how it would be illegal.
It's against company policy. So Parsons said his son's ticket was canceled and he was banned from American Airlines for 3 years, but never actually did anything wrong. He never got his boarding pass, he said. The teen had a plane ticket to travel from Gainesville, Florida to New York City, but was stopped by a gate agent before he was allowed to board because he had a North Carolina license and the flight had a layover in Charlotte, North Carolina.
What the hell difference would that make?
The elder Parsons said that an American Airlines gate agent suspected the teen of skip lagging or what is intending to travel to the connecting city rather than the destination on his boarding pass in an effort to save money, because sometimes it will cost you less to buy a ticket to somewhere further away if it's a connecting flight.
Yeah, right.
And the connecting flight happens, connection happens in the city you actually want to go to. So let's say you want to fly to Philadelphia from Miami, but they need to stop in, there's a flight to New York or something like that where they stop in Philadelphia first and then go to New York. It might be cheaper than the direct flight to Philadelphia.
Yeah, I did this pre 9/11, so I don't know if the legality has changed since then or the airline's policy has, but I flew round trip Philly to San Diego on Southwest, and then actually it was out of BWI. I don't think Southwest was even flying out of Philly at the time. Anyway, met friends in Vegas. I got off the plane in Vegas, hung out with them, then we drove to San Diego, and I flew home from San Diego. But I didn't think that I was doing anything wrong or illegal by just getting off the plane and not continuing on the leg of the flight that went from Vegas to San Diego.
What are they going to call? Where are you?
Yeah, exactly.
We're holding the plane for you.
So the gate agent checked on this, and they revoked the ticket cost, $150. The family had to buy a $400 direct flight in order to get his son to Charlotte.
What would be, so it's just company policy. Why would that, well, if someone's paying for the ticket anyway, I don't get it.
They just don't like people getting a deal.
A deal.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, and also then they can't sell that seat from the layover to the final destination.
But they've
already sold it.
Already sold it.
No. If you bought a ticket to go to your destination, you're still taking up that seat that they could be selling.
Yeah, because you paid for it.
Right, but that's the point. That's why
This is the equivalent
but they can sell it additionally.
This is the equivalent of when a meter is broken and then the city comes in and says you can't park here. It's like no.
No, it'd be like hiring a limo to take you from home to a destination. It shows up and you don't get in it, but you still paid for it.
Yeah.
So Kathy's point, I think, is that if say this kid took a flight from, let's say he's going to New York and he's going from Miami to New York and he stops in Charlotte, but he actually wants to get off in Charlotte. If he took that as a direct flight to Charlotte and got off, then they could sell
Charlotte
that
to
ticket
New York.
Charlotte to New York. So so I guess it works that way. Do they sell?
They sell Dragon Balls.
Yes.
I know they sell Dragon Balls and they can be quite spicy.
Yeah.
But have you ever gotten on a plane?
Yes,
That
where people were already
people
on it.
already on
Yeah,
it?
but you know what? Now I don't think they keep people on the plane now.
There are like 3 or 4 guys sitting up in the cockpit.
But yes, I have gotten onto a plane that was people had already been on
And we're just sitting there waiting.
It was their layover; they were not getting off. But I think more so now, everyone is getting off and then getting back on.
I don't know. Southwest does it all the time because
Do
they sell by legs a lot of the time. So
Okay.
like you'll go from Philly to Midway, and they do smaller airports as well. So,
Don't go in there. It's just legs.
Yeah, you don't want to sit in that part of the plane.
Interesting. All right. Well, anyhow, that's it in the bizarre file for you this morning. I had one of the tastiest meatballs I've ever had in my life. Pizzeria Vetri is here.
They're phenomenal.
They cooked up not only great pizzas, they brought a bunch of different ones here this morning, but the pork meatballs are out of this world. And you're lucky because there's lots of locations for you with these awesome meatballs. The Art Museum, Devon, Rittenhouse Square, and King of Prussia. I have a $50 gift card that we will give to caller number 20 at 215-263-WMMR. And if you're planning an event, birthdays, team building, big or small, Pizzeria Vetri's got a pizza truck for off-site events as well.
I didn't know that.
Well, I think did you guys bring the truck here this morning? Yeah, that's what they were cooking
Well,
with
there you
outside.
go. Yeah.
Your guests are going to enjoy fresh pizza straight from their mobile wood-fired oven. So, caller number 20, we'll give you that gift card, 215-263-WMMR. Going to be back in a moment. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
I'm going to give you a time. Yeah!
He's going there, 9.5.
9.5 champion in the flop-off, Jordan Kennedy!
You got to really do it.
Thanks for playing, though. We appreciate it. All right, these guys are they're good on one. All right, let's get our next caller on the line.
It's quite a fun game.
And we're going to go to Duke. Good morning, Duke.
Hi.
All right, Duke, could you please give us the line that you're going to be reading for Joel and Leah?
Okay.
Be nice if you had it ready to go.
Give him a minute.
He's doing
Look, it's a name, man. The Italian stallion. The media will eat it up. Now, who discovered America? It's an Italian, right? What would be better than to get it on with one of its descendants?
The actor prepares.
Duke, I want to thank you for rehearsing that all night last night.
I watched that scene live last night.
So wonderfully. Okay, so what do you think? Let's go, Joel. Brit or not a Brit?
I think he's a Brit. I think Duke isn't even his name because that's a very American name.
Okay.
I think he's a Brit. That's very good.
And Leah, what do you think?
I think not a Brit.
You think not a Brit? Duke, where are you from?
I'm from Manchester.
Joel got it right.
All right, so apparently Duke owns a barbershop called Blokes in Old City.
No kidding.
Very nice, Duke.
How long have you been in the States, Duke?
10 years.
10 years. Okay.
Wow.
Originally from Manchester. Were you a barber there as well, or is this a whole new life?
I was, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Nice.
I was a barber and a musician.
All right, and reading the info that you sent us, what other countries do you get mistaken that you are from?
Oh, okay. Irish, Australian, Kiwi, South African, all sorts.
All of them. Yeah, I believe it. And that's a common refrain, by the way. People are like, "Are you South African?"
Oh my
And
God!
so
Yeah.
on.
To me, Australian and Kiwi, so different, and I don't know.
Oh,
how...
you use bloke. You use the word bloke. You must be from Australia.
All right, well, Duke, you did manage to stump Leah, so I think that's good for a prize.
Yeah, we'll hook you up with
All
something.
right, hang on a second, Duke. Thank you
Yeah.
very much, man. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Marissa, do I need to keep him on hold, or will we contact him?
We'll contact him.
We'll contact him. All right, I'm
It was
gonna let-
funny because my friend is Helen.
Duke
She's
go.
from Manchester,
Yeah.
and when he was saying a couple of things, I was like, "Oh my God, that's." And I was with her last night. I was like, "That's exactly how she sounds." So maybe I can pick out a Manchester accent.
All right, let's go with another caller. We have Peter on the line. Good morning, Peter.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. All right, so we have Joel and Leah here. We're playing Brit or Not a Brit. Could you give us the line, please?
I will do. Commodities are agricultural products, like coffee that you had for breakfast, wheat, which is used to make bread, pork bellies, which is used to make bacon, which you might find in a bacon and lettuce and tomato sandwich.
Yeah, definitely a Brit.
Brit.
All right, you guys both say Brit?
Brit.
Yeah.
Where?
Yeah.
Where's he
Right.
from?
Well, hang on.
Yeah.
Peter, well, yeah, if you were to narrow it down and you think it's legit, where would you say Peter's from?
I don't think he's from the south.
Can you say a couple more words, please? Just a few more.
Just say a few more words, Peter, if you would.
Well, what sort of words would you like me to say?
Yeah,
All
you
right.
did it.
Okay.
London.
Should we go?
I think Midlands,
Go
like Leah.
Midlands.
Where are you from, Peter?
Well, that's pretty clever because I was born in a city called Leicester, which is in the Midlands.
Wow.
You got the Midlands. You got the whole thing.
And how long
But
have
I
you
spent most of my life in London.
All right. And how long have you been in the States?
40 years.
40 years.
Damn.
Good for you, man.
You
You
that
still sound like that?
Yeah, that is not faded whatsoever.
No.
All right. Well, thank you for playing, Peter. Unfortunately, you didn't stump these guys, but we appreciate you calling in and thank you for listening to the show.
It's like
Thank you. It was
All
all
right.
fun.
Take care, Peter.
normally an accent would go away. That's why the hilarity of having Scotty on Star Trek had that complete.
Yeah, I had when I was a kid. I had a very thick Southern accent.
Right.
I lived in the South growing up, and my parents speak with a Southern accent, but I shook it along the line.
By the way, that was Ralph Bellamy as Randolph Duke in Trading Places.
Yes,
That's
thank you
one
very
of the
much.
lines, yes.
Yeah. All right, let's get another caller. We have William on. Hi, William. Good morning.
Morning.
All right, William. We are playing Brit or Not a Brit, and Joel and Leah want to hear your accent. So give us the line, please.
What? Are you kidding? Sundays? I love Sundays. I live for Sundays. The whole family's together. Mum makes brioche. Dad puts the jersey on. We're all watching the game. Yes, it drives me crazy. And yes, I was negative. You didn't even know that I loved it, Nikki, but I did. I just didn't appreciate it or you before.
Okay. So there is an event that is coming up. This is going to be Saturday night at the Man, and it is Jurassic Park in concert with the Philadelphia Orchestra. Which these events are great. The Philadelphia Orchestra there, they perform the score in front of the movie as it's being shown. It's pretty awesome.
Even if you think, oh, I don't know if I'd like that, you should go try it once. It will
Man,
blow you away.
I've been to a bunch of them over the years, including John Williams ones, and I did Back to the Future and Star Wars. It's a blast. And Steve, even if it's a movie you've seen 100 times, seeing it with live scoring is
amazing.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yep. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to play a game this morning. Speaking of Mr. John Williams,
legend,
because we have a grand prize to give away, and it is actually a John Williams signed score to Jurassic Park.
Wow.
You will qualify that if you win a pair of tickets to the event, which is, like I said, on Saturday. We're going to give away tickets to Jurassic Park in concert with the Philadelphia Orchestra. But we're going to play a game called John Williams Backwards and Fast Forwards. We've only done this one time. We did it with me. I know the Beatles backwards and fast forwards.
How did you do it? I forgot.
We took clips. We took Beatles songs, and I would either have to hear them in reverse form or extremely sped up and try to identify the song. And it's hard, man.
It is hard.
It is not easy. So
now, John Williams, by the way, begged to have an interview with us, but we just didn't have time.
We'd rather do a contest. But you know John Williams music, some of the greatest film scores of all time. I mean, I'm not going to name them because...
you might be giving away answers.
I'm going to give them away, but they're some of the biggest blockbuster films of all time, and we're playing the Jurassic Park theme.
By the way, my friends wrote lyrics to the Jurassic Park theme. I should have done it right there because it started, but it's like, in Jurassic Park, there are dinosaurs, and the T-Rex is so big.
Love it.
So let's get callers on the line, 215-263-WMMR. You will decide whether you want to hear this backwards or fast forward.
So you get the option.
It's up to you.
All
and
right.
I tell you what, let's do, if because I think it's going to be hard.
You gonna start with a clue?
No, I'm not going to start with a clue.
You can start with the answer.
No, I'm not going to start with the answer. I think we go through at least 3 callers.
Okay.
To try the same one.
So try to be the 4th caller.
Before we get a winner. No, the 4th caller won't automatically win or anything like that.
All right. I'm just not getting the whole concept.
No, but that's okay. All right. We're going to go to our first caller on the line. This is Ryan. Hey, Ryan, good morning.
Hey, good morning, man.
All right, buddy. So we're going to play John Williams, backwards or fast forwards. And this first track, you get to choose. Do you want it backwards or fast forward? Didn't know I had to do that.
Fast forward.
What,
Fast forward.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right, so I'm going to play this. I'm going to leave. I forgot that the audio sometimes is weird on the phone line.
Yeah.
I'm just going to leave him open here and see if he can hear it, okay? All right, fast forward. Casey, we ready? Yes. All right, here is the first time we're trying this. Let's see how this goes.
I got it.
All right.
Yeah, I agree.
Preston?
Yes.
All right. So you can do it.
You can do it. All
Can
right.
be done.
Ryan, what movie is that?
Star Wars.
No. Incorrect. No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was not. Sorry. By the way, do we have the regular speed versions
Yes,
too?
we
So we
do.
can
Yep.
play them for people. All right. We'll do 2 more callers on that. We're going to do Jim. Hi, Jim.
Morning, guys.
Morning, bud. Okay, so you get a choice here. You'll actually get to hear it a couple of different ways if you want. Backwards and fast forwards. Which way do you want to hear it?
Let's go backwards.
All right, we'll try backwards. Here we go. This is it.
I would have got that too.
All right, Jim. What movie soundtrack is that?
I got no clue. Jurassic Park.
No.
Oh.
Not Jurassic Park. One more caller. Ashley. Hi there, Ashley.
Good morning.
Good morning. All right, Ashley. Did you hear them both?
Yes, I did.
And what movie is that from?
Indiana Jones.
No, that's incorrect.
Wow.
I'm so sorry.
Man.
It was Superman.
Ah.
We're gonna play.
I thought we were all going to be like,
This is it. So
It's great.
all right.
By the way, one of the greatest opening sequences in a movie. You remember the opening credits in the original
yeah.
Superman?
Yeah.
Mind blowing.
Yep. Awesome. All right. So our next caller is it Liz?
Liz K.
Liz K. Let me go over to Liz K then. Hi, Liz K.
Hi guys, how are you?
Wonderful. All right, Liz, we're starting anew, and this is John Williams. Backwards or fast forwards? Which would you rather hear?
I'll do fast forward.
Fast forward.
All
All
right.
right, fair enough. Here we go. First one. First listen on this one. Listen closely. All right. What movie theme is that from John Williams, Liz?
I think it's Harry Potter.
Well done.
Excellent. That whimsical beginning.
Hang on a second. Liz, we are going to give you tickets for Jurassic Park, which is in concert with the Philadelphia Orchestra. It's this Saturday night at the Man. And also, Liz is qualified for the grand prize, a John Williams signed score. By the way, the parking is free. Tickets start at just $25, and there are photo opportunities with a Jurassic Park Jeep that is there, too. Tickets available at mancenter.org.
Do we have the original Harry Potter?
We do, and here it is.
So great.
Very magical, very as so it should be. Can I hear it backwards too, Case? I want to hear what that would have sounded like. So. And
Fast forward would have been the way to go.
Yeah, definitely. And when you're at the theme park, when you're at Universal, that music's playing all over the place. It's great. So cool. All right, we will get another caller on the line and see if we can get a winner here. Up next is, we're going to go to Paul. Hey, Paul, morning.
Good welcome.
Good welcome. Good morning to see you. All right. We have another one of John Williams scores ready to go, and you get to request it either backwards or fast forward. What do you think?
Fast forward.
Fast forward. I think it's a good choice. All right. Here is the next one. Listen closely. All right, Paul. Do you know what movie that's from?
I don't, but I still love you.
Love you too. Like Dr. Mike. All right, sorry, Paul. We'll go next to Rocco. Hi, Rocco.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. All right, I'm sure you heard that. Do you want to take a crack at it, or do you get the option to hear it in reverse?
I'd like to hear it in reverse.
All right, Casey, cue it up, and here we go. This one sounds just as good backwards.
Yeah.
This is a tough one, though. All right, Rocco, you got to take a guess. What is it?
I'm guessing Fiddler on the Roof.
Not Fiddler on the Roof, but a wonderful try, sir.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. All right, we'll go to one more caller on that particular one. This is Liz. Liz F. Hi, Liz.
Hey, how are you?
Good. All right, Liz, you've heard it backwards. You've heard it fast forwards. Do you have any idea what soundtrack that might be from John Williams?
I'm going to go with Memoirs of a Geisha.
No, not Memoirs of a Geisha. No. It was Schindler's List.
He won the Academy Award for that soundtrack.
And that is a tough one because it's not as... Yeah, it's a more serious film, obviously, and you don't hear it brought up.
Yeah, there's no dance theme from.
Yeah.
So on vacation, we had a chance to have a cellist and a violinist perform some songs for us at this event we were at, and they played Schindler's List, Preston, and everyone was tearing up. It was beautiful.
I'm sure. All right, we're going to get another one teed up and ready to go, and our next caller is... trying to see who's been on hold the longest. We're going to go next to, let's go to Joe. Hello there, Joe.
Hey.
All right, Joe, we got a new one teed up. Do you want to hear it backwards or fast forwards?
Fast forward, please.
Yep.
Fast forward. All right, Casey. All right, so I'm going to give you a clue.
Okay.
A clue on this one.
It's not a movie.
It's not a movie.
No, this is in the TV realm.
This is in the TV realm.
These are not the droids you're
These are
looking
not the
for.
droids.
No, and it's not Star Wars. All right, so listen closely. Joe, let's see if we can get this. Here we go. I don't think I want to do this.
No,
one.
I don't. I don't either.
I think I can.
You
I
know what?
can I guess?
Yeah.
Well,
is it the nightly news?
It is. It's the NBC nightly
Yeah,
news.
yeah.
It's this. So that doesn't. No.
Yeah, I'd say skip that. Yeah. Since we gave the answer.
Joe, you never heard that one.
That's not the theme you're looking for.
All right, this is a new one. All right, you ready, Joe?
Wait.
Yeah,
I forget.
ready.
Is he doing fast forward? He's doing.
He's
fast
doing fast forward.
He's doing fast forward.
All right, here it is.
Good Lord.
I'd love to see the credits rolling up on that.
Wow, Joe, any idea?
Yeah, that's another tough one. Is this TV or is this back to movies?
It's movies. Sorry.
It's movies. I'm going to take a swing in the dark, say Star Wars.
Star Wars, no, incorrect. Thanks, though, buddy. All right, we'll go over next to Dave. Hi, Dave.
Hey, good morning.
Morning, bud. All right, we're playing John Williams backwards and fast forward. So do you want to now hear it backwards?
Fast forward, please.
Fast forward.
That's right, okay.
Play it again.
Okay.
Committed.
Here it is.
All right. I got it on the second one.
Are anybody text-wise
Nope.
getting these right?
No.
Oh.
Not
This
on-
one I'm having difficulty
Not
with.
on this one. Previous ones they have. This one's tough.
All right, Dave, what film is that from?
Close Encounters? Third time?
No.
Ah,
Good
nice
guess, though. Good guess. All right, we'll go one more on this particular one, and this is Chris that we have on the line. Hi, Chris.
Hello.
All right, buddy. So do you want to hear it fast forward or backwards?
Backwards.
All right, fair enough. Here it is. By the way, the backwards starts at the very end of the whole thing. So. Bunch of our texts are getting it now.
Now they're getting it now.
All right, Chris, what movie?
I'm going to guess E.T.
He got it! Sorry, E.T. is correct, and that means
Even I couldn't get that.
you have tickets to see Jurassic Park in concert with the Philadelphia Orchestra on Saturday night at the Man, and he's also in the running for the grand prize, John Williams signed score. Tickets available at mancenter.org.
Did they ever find out what E.T.'s actual name was on his planet?
Oh.
Eddie Timlinson.
Because they always called Alf, even though he was like, no, my name is
E.T.
Gordon
stands for
Shumway.
Eddie Timlinson.
Oh, I
Eddie
didn't know that.
Timlinson.
Yeah.
Eddie Timlinson.
Maybe that was in the outtakes or in the director's cut. I
Yeah, my
don't
name's
really-
Eddie.
Okay. All right, we will go to another caller and start anew. We have, all right, Kathy's been on hold for a long time. Let me go to her. Hi, Kathy. Good morning.
Good morning, guys.
All right.
For Kathy.
For Kathy.
What the hell?
I don't know.
Delco rocks.
Delco Rocks.
Ah, there we go.
I think
Kathy.
Kathy, you've been on the air before, haven't you?
Yes.
I
Okay.
thought so.
All
Okay.
right.
All right, Kathy.
Yesterday.
Do you want to hear? Do you want to hear
Is that what she said?
Yeah. She called in yesterday.
John Williams
I did. I won.
Okay.
You won.
Wait, she won. You can't
You
win
can't
again.
win again.
Well, no, did you win a lottery
I
ticket?
know. I'm going to a Club Risque tonight, guys.
Oh, she's going to Club
So
Risque.
she did win a prize
Oh
yesterday.
yeah, you can't. Kathy, didn't they tell you can't win once? You can only win like once a month.
Nah.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
I got a guy's name tattooed on my arm.
Oh,
That's. I love
sorry.
that.
You're awesome, but we can't do
yeah,
that.
we can't do it. I'm sorry, Kathy.
But we love you. nonetheless.
Stink, Kathy.
Well,
Man, when did the new Kathy collection come into play?
It's from an episode of Boss Baby. Jason, I found.
we'll see you at Club Risque tonight.
Yesterday. Today's a new day.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, I know. Call us in a month.
I had a horrible day.
When it's
I could
I'm
spend all
sorry
day.
you had a horrible day.
Have fun at
but
Risque.
Yeah,
but you're
have
going
fun
to
at
Club
Risque.
Risque tonight, right?
Yes, ma'am. I sure am.
All right.
Have fun.
All right. Thank you, Kathy. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.
I don't get to play?
Yeah.
No, you don't get to
I
play.
tell you what.
Seriously, you can only win once a month.
After Risque, why don't you go back to Marissa's apartment with her?
Yeah.
I am sitting here because I ran out of gas, and
Oh, man.
I'm listening to you guys.
We love you.
We love it,
We
Kathy.
can't break the rules, though, because everyone else would be upset.
Yeah.
No, they wouldn't.
Okay. Thank you, Kathy. We'll see you later.
This is all thanks to Kathy.
I think she doesn't understand. Like, it's official rules
Yes.
of the radio station.
Yeah.
We can't give her another prize. So
Nope.
hopefully she gets that.
All right. We will go next to Colin then. Hi there, Colin.
Hey, monkey pick ass.
Yeah.
Monkey big ass.
Old school. You didn't win anything yesterday, did you?
No, but that's a shame because she didn't win it on the radio, though. She did. She won it at one of your
doesn't-
guys like event.
No.
Doesn't
She,
matter.
no, she was a call. She won it as a call-in. We gave those away exclusively by calling in.
Oh well, then never mind. Heck with her then.
All right, thank you. All right, so Colin, here we go. Do you want it John Williams backwards or fast forward?
Oh my God, I'm nervous. I guess let's go backwards. Let's go
Backwards. All right.
Listen closely. This is from the very end of the theme. Here it is. All right, Colin, what do you think?
All right, I think I have it, and if I do, an 8-year-old boy is going to be very happy that I'm taking him.
Okay.
Is it Jaws?
Your 8-year-old is very happy. That is correct. Yes, sir. All right, Colin, hang on. You and your 8-year-old get to go to the Man on Saturday for Jurassic Park in concert with the Philadelphia Orchestra.
Did you ever hear the story about Spielberg sitting down and hearing John Williams present the theme to him for the first time? He's looking and says, "You got to be kidding me!"
Oh, really?
He goes,
Dan.
"Yeah." And he goes, "What are you?" And of course, it became one of the most iconic soundtracks of all time.
Absolutely. Case, can I hear that fast forward? I'm curious as to what that would sound like and whether it would be easy to pick up. Here we go. I guess that's the. All right, next we will go to Jewel. Hi there, Jewel.
Hi.
Hi.
You okay, Jewel?
All right, Jewel, you ready to play?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, this is John Williams, fast forward or backwards. Which one would you like to hear?
Backwards, please.
Backwards, please.
Everyone's very serious about this.
Here is your theme. All right, Jewel, you got to identify that. What movie is it?
I'm gonna guess a Harry Potter movie.
No, we already did Harry Potter. No, sorry. Incorrect. We're not repeating, by the way.
Oh, I didn't realize.
It's all right.
Sorry, it's
5
okay.
different Harry Potter movies.
Okay, well, go hang out with Kathy at Club Risque tonight.
Oh,
Not Kathy Romano, Kathy from Delco.
The other Kathy.
All right, thank you. Let's get Adam on, and he can try this out. Adam, good morning to you, sir.
Hey, hi guys. Sorry to bother you at work.
It's okay. Bud, you're playing a contest. What do you want? Do you want it backwards or fast forwards? What do you think?
Boy, I've been listening the whole time and been getting most of these. And that one, I'm nervous. Can I hear it fast forward?
Of course you
just
can.
did backwards, right?
She did backwards,
Right.
yes. All right,
yeah,
listen
can I hear-
closely.
can I-
Here it is.
can I hear fast forward?
Yeah, shut up. Here we go. Fast forward. Here we go. right, Adam. What movie do you think that is?
Man, I'm going to take a step. I don't know. Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark?
No, sir.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I didn't get it.
Incorrect. We will go to one more caller for this, and it's Nathan. Hey there, Nathan.
Hello.
All right, Nathan. Do you need to hear it again?
I'm probably gonna. Yeah, I'll hear it again forward.
All right, fast forward.
I get the feeling that a lot of these listeners are at a party at Kathy's house.
Kathy, the listener?
The other Kathy. Yeah.
All right, here we go. Here it is. All right, so what do you think, Nathan?
I'm thinking it's Home Alone.
No. Good guess.
Not yet. Creative. Are texters getting it, Nick?
They are. There
I
are a
think
few.
that did I guess it right, Preston?
It is no, you did not. It is Jurassic Park.
Oh,
that's what that was. That was Jurassic Park, all sped up and backwards. So
all spedded it up.
All right, we just have a couple of more that we can get to. So let's get another caller on the line, and this is John. Hey, John. John, are you there, sir?
Oh, I copy. Sorry, I was on mute.
You were on what?
I was on mute.
Oh, on mute.
He's on mute.
All right,
No, no problem.
All right, so John, we got another one teed up for you. How do you want to hear it? Backwards or fast forwards?
We'll go backwards.
All right.
Backwards. All right.
I would always opt for forwards, but that's just me.
Let's see if he can identify this one. That's what we have. And what do you think it is, John?
I'll try Indiana Jones.
He is correct. Yeah! Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark is absolutely correct. Hang on, because you're going to see the Philadelphia Orchestra play Jurassic Park in concert at the Man on Saturday, and you're also qualified for the grand prize of John Williams' signed score. Tickets are just $25 for that. Can I hear the theme in its natural state? I think it could be my favorite. He's had so many iconic themes, but nothing makes my heart swell
like the Indiana Jones theme.
Theme. So and it's got a lot of positive memories behind it as well. Because seeing that movie as a kid, I was like, this. I just. I guess, is that technically, is it called Indy's theme, or I wonder what the title is.
I would assume that is, because that's what is the prevalent theme when he's doing his deal.
There was a moment about a month ago, I don't know if you guys saw this, but the fifth Indiana Jones movie was being screened abroad, and Steven Spielberg and Harrison Ford were there, and they say, "Ladies and gentlemen, we have a surprise for you," and the curtain goes up, and behind the curtain is John Williams and an entire orchestra.
Wow.
And to watch Steven Spielberg and Harrison Ford be in awe of John Williams, and then to hear the crowd go nuts because John Williams was there, it was a really special moment. And then, Preston, they launched right into that theme. It was so badass. And I think he's 89 now.
Yes. And then he went right into I like big butts.
He did?
Well, yeah.
That's weird. I do have a question. So because I was listening to Superman, this question I thought of.
Okay.
I want you to play the Indiana Jones theme. Do you think that he will take the title character like Superman or Indiana Jones, just that, and then create the soundtrack based on the title? All right, so
explain.
All right, I have to explain. I have to explain it in practical forms. All right,
Okay, so let me. Yeah, here we go.
Indiana Jones.
Do it with Superman now.
All right, now we'll do it with Superman.
Okay.
All right, you ready? And then you go like this.
Superman. Right?
No, it's really this right here.
I don't know.
Mnemonically, that could be a thing. We talked to Michael Giacchino about when he was doing the same theme for the Batman. He tries to take the character,
right?
And it's not just based on the name, but it's more the motivations of the character.
But you're wondering if part of a main theme in syllables might work out with the name of the character. I don't know.
So, Schindler's List.
Yeah.
Maybe not that way.
Schindler's List. He made a list. Schindler's List.
Wait, this isn't the Schindler's List music.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. I was
This is
confused.
not, that wouldn't work for this one.
Same basic movie.
Pull up
though.
Schindler's List.
Yeah.
The regular forward, and we'll see if there's.
Schindler's List.
Hang on a second. This has got
here we
to
go.
double back here.
Is the actual theme.
But it would be, rather than Schindler's List, it would be Oscar Schindler. If you're going off of the characters.
Right.
Right.
So I don't know.
Here. That's it. It's beautiful. It's Itzhak Perlman, is it not?
It's heart-wrenching. I do not know.
I thought it was Itzhak Perlman.
I
playing
wouldn't
it.
doubt it.
Yeah.
Get the best.
You tried the rest, now try the best.
Itzhak Perlman. Okay, we have one more.
All right.
I'm done effing around here.
We'll say the best for last.
Get off my ass. Let me
Call her Kathy hates our guts. Everyone's half asleep. The whole thing's going down in flames.
I think she does hate us now.
She was
She
so
was
mad.
not following because she wasn't following.
She didn't realize we could lose the station license by violating. Yeah.
Can't give you a prize.
The rules.
She was out of gas.
We're gonna go to Matt. Hi, Matt. Good morning.
Good morning, guys.
All right, Matt. We got one more to go, and we need to know John Williams backwards or fast forwards. What would you prefer?
Backwards, I guess.
Backwards, man. They're going with the backwards. Okay.
Which one do you want?
This one.
That one? Okay.
Yep,
He said,
absolutely.
The easiest one would be nice.
The easiest one.
If we
All
could
right.
select the easiest one, he'd appreciate that.
It might be. All right, here we go. I remember this is at the end where the
Yes.
the main theme peters out. So I'm gonna
You
give
still
it,
get it, though.
I'm gonna give it just a little bit longer. This looks like it might be more like
Yeah,
that ought to do it. All right, so Matt, what movie is that from?
Sounds very Star Wars-esque.
That's the one. Yeah. Star Wars, the main theme, the New Hope. Hang on, Matt. We're going to give you the tickets to see the Philadelphia Orchestra performing Jurassic Park this Saturday, July 22nd at the Man. And, of course, you qualify for the John Williams signed score. And the world-class Philadelphia Orchestra is going to play the Oscar-winning composer John Williams' iconic musical score live as the film is projected on 3 giant screens. Parking's free for the event, by the way. Tickets are just $25. They start at $25. And there's photo opportunities with the Jurassic Park Jeep. Tickets and information available at mancenter.org. Excellent. Well done, everyone. And by the way, yes, the name of the Indiana Jones, it is Indiana Jones theme.
Yes.
So that is Indy's theme. All right, let us take a break. We'll come back in a moment or two. And you know what? Let's have a chance for you to join Kathy, listener Kathy, not Kathy Romano, but Marissa Magnata and Sarah Parker will be at Ladies Night tonight at Club Risque. It's an MMRBQ ticket rate, and we will give you a pair of tickets to go to the MMRBQ. If you're at least 21 years of age and a lady, it's a ladies event only, so we'll take call number 25 at 215-263-WMMR. But if you want to show up there tonight, they're giving away tickets every 15 minutes to the MMRBQ. It's free entry for ladies. Your first drink is free, ladies. And the first 30 ladies get a pair of limited edition collectible Preston and Steve boy shorts.
It's a lot of ladies there.
I know.
Yeah.
Let's take that caller, and we'll be back in just a moment. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve
Preston and Steve.
on 93.3 WMMR.
performer. He could be performing right now.
Okay, but what do you think if you had to?
My initial instinct was pretend, not a Brit.
Yes, I don't think he's a Brit, but that was a very good attempt.
But when he said brioche, I died.
Yeah.
William, where are you from?
Yeah, that's not even fair. That was spot on.
Oh, he's from Delco.
He's from All right, William, they found you out, but thanks, man. We appreciate it, buddy. All right, we'll see
It's
you.
pretty.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny because all you have to do in many cases is convince people here. And so, you know, the hard part, that's why when you do pass muster, when a Kate Winslet pulls off something as mechanically difficult as a sub-accent, sub-dialect here, it's an amazing thing.
So the way he said yo, he said yo. That's how you say it in Delaware County, in Delco. Yo.
But you can so far, you can hear them trying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the Brits are just natural. And
That's why like when Meryl Streep pulled off the Polish accent in Sophie's Choice, you'll have dialogue and dialect coaches on set.
Right.
That's how hard it is.
And by the way, you should visit some of the places that are named for English cities. Like you should definitely go to Chester and Camden and Kensington. No.
You won't make
Those
it
are like
home.
the high crime
Really?
areas.
Yeah.
That was that was a movie set in Delco. That was Silver Linings Playbook and Bradley Cooper's character.
Ah, thank
Well
you,
done.
Nick, for the clarification. All right, we have another caller on the line. It is Susan. Good morning, Susan.
Good morning.
Okay, Susan, we have Joel and Leah here determining Brit or not a Brit. Could you please read what we sent to you?
When you were making me, didn't you feel a certain inspiration? Almost like your hands were moved by force not of this world. You made this body so that I could come to life.
Okay.
The accent was good, but the intonation was all off, wasn't it? What do you think,
Yeah,
Joel?
I don't know. I thought that's really hard to tell because I think it could just be that she's reading a quote that made it sound slightly off.
Do you
but
want her to
still
say
really good.
brioche?
Just say brioche. No.
All right, Joel, we're going to ask you.
No,
Make a
you know what?
decision.
I'm going to take a risk. Say she's a Brit.
She's a Brit.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay,
and what do you
let's say
think? Leah?
Brit then.
She says Brit. All right, Susan, where are you from?
I'm from Philly, baby.
I think they really knew.
I think I know. It's just like,
You really knew. But that means Susan is a winner. So, Susan, we're going to get in touch with you and set you up with a prize, okay?
Sounds great. Thank you. This is so fun.
All right,
very
thanks
cool.
for playing along.
Very cool.
All right,
You guys know what movie that was?
Is that Mannequin?
It is Mannequin. Kim Cattrall and Mannequin. You guys ever see Mannequin? There's Kim Cattrall, the actress from Sex and the City. She's a mannequin in a store in Philadelphia. She comes to life, and
It's a true story.
Yeah, it's a true story. Yes, right. It's a documentary, really.
That's why Kim Cattrall looks so plastic now.
oh gosh, you guys.
All right, let's get our next caller. We have Chris. By the way, we have like a dozen of these to do.
Oh my gosh, that's so fun.
Hi, Chris. Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
All right, Chris, we are going to get.
See, they already got a taste.
We're gonna need to have you deliver the line. Could you go for it, please?
Now that we know who you are, I know who I am. I'm not a mistake. It all makes sense. In a comic, you know who you can tell who the arch villain's going to be? He's the exact opposite of the hero. Most of the times, they're friends, like you and me. I should have known way back when. You know why, David? Because of the kids. They called me Mr. Glass.
Mr. Glass. All right. What do you think? Leah, let's go with you.
I was going to say Brit from maybe like the south, maybe somewhere near Essex.
Okay.
Yeah, I
what do you
think like could be Londoner even.
Londoner.
I think definitely Brit.
Yeah.
Definitely
Then
Brit.
he said glass at the end instead of glass.
Did he?
I was like, wait, what? You've thrown me off the scent.
I heard
northern gloss.
Gloss. I heard,
Gloss.
Gloss.
Yeah.
Oh, gloss. It was
Yeah.
the word gloss on the screen.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah.
No. It was the word
it's
glass,
glass.
but
Oh, right.
to our ears, we heard him say gloss.
Yeah.
Might be,
I
yeah.
think I heard Glass. I think he's definitely a Brit.
I think me too. Yeah.
All right, both of them say a Brit. And Chris, where are you from?
I am a Brit from Hatfield, Hertfordshire.
Yeah, North
Did you get it
London.
right?
Yeah. Well, no, I was wrong, but yeah, London, kind of Londonish.
And where do you call home now, Chris?
Chester County, down in town.
All right, how long have you been in the States?
18 years.
18 years.
Wow,
And the
nice,
fact that
man.
they still retain a substantial part of that,
Yeah.
it's pretty amazing.
Except for when saying glass.
Yeah.
So that's because he's lived here then.
Yeah.
So that bit's come out.
Yeah.
So we had and we had this guy as a guest on the show a couple times. Louis Knight.
Yes.
He was a contestant on American Idol.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know, but he is like the only English person that I have ever heard sing with an English accent.
Oh, it's adorable.
Yeah.
All right,
Can you do
Chris.
an impression of it?
Chris,
Oh,
thanks for,
a lovely bunch of coconuts.
Chris, thanks for playing, man. We appreciate it.
Hey, thanks.
All right, take care. All right, so you guys are doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty
I think
good.
they're
You've
doing
only
damn
missed a
good,
couple
yeah.
of them. All right. Let's get another caller on the line. Oh, what movie was that?
Oh,
from?
Unbreakable.
That was
Samuel L.
Unbreakable.
Jackson.
Yes, thank you. I knew
Mr.
it was-
Glass.
I don't know why I couldn't remember the name of the movie, but it's an M. Night Shyamalan classic. All right. We have Steven. Hi, Steven.
Morning.
Morning. All right, Steven, we have a... They're like immediately making their decisions when people say good morning. All right, Steven, do us a favor and read the line we sent you.
Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place. It'll beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody's going to hit as hard as life, but it ain't how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, then go out and get what you're worth. But you got to be willing to take the hit and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you are because of him, her, or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that.
Right. Did it
Yeah,
start
better
off?
than that.
It started off like Scouse, then it went Scottish. It was like Liverpool, Scottish.
Do you know what? His Scottish accent is better than mine.
Yeah.
So if you're to say Brit or not a Brit, what do you think, Joel?
I'll go not a Brit.
Not a Brit.
No,
All right.
sorry.
Stephen, where are you from?
I'm from South Jersey.
But I love that. That's a great quote from Rocky Balboa.
Yeah, he was hitting some of them pretty
Too
solid.
well.
Like the word hit, he said het.
Yeah.
Instead
Yeah.
with more of an
I like
E
that
sound.
he did like a Scottish version rather than going for like our accent.
That was brilliant.
What were you saying, Stephen?
I was going for a North England Geordie accent.
Oh, so he knows his stuff. That's actually where Stallone is from.
All right, thanks for playing, Stephen. Have a good one, man. All right.
Have a good one.
If you're just tuning in, we have Joel and Leah who are here in the States. They do a YouTube series, and they cover American culture, British culture, kind of compare the two, try some things out over here, sample a little bit.
It's wonderful watching, and they're very much likable. So and people love to see the differences.
Yes. And by the way, I saw BuzzFeed has all these great lists that pop up all the time, and there was one that was showing American sections of grocery stores around the world. And so usually there's a small rack of stuff for maybe who's a tourist or somebody who lives that then go get some of their creature comforts as far as food goes. And you know what I noticed on every single one of those photos? What do you think? What item, if you were to guess?
That is considered expressly American.
Yeah, it was very easy to spot by the packaging. Very bright packaging. It's a candy. I'll give you that.
Circus peanuts?
No.
Candy.
Circus peanuts.
M&M's.
No.
No?
It's a candy.
Yeah.
It's a
Skittles.
candy.
No. Reese's peanut butter cups.
Ah.
On every single photo that I saw all around the world. I'm like, okay, yeah.
So
sure.
not circus peanuts.
I'd want them.
Yeah, it's funny because my friend Helen hates American candy and I can't stand British candy. I just
Ooh,
and she
I
offered-
like British candy.
Yeah, I can't do it, and they offer because we were all at the same restaurant last Saturday, and she had a big box of British chocolate. I was like, no thanks, that's I'm okay with that. Which is crazy because I love chocolate, but she says that American chocolate tastes like vomit.
Yeah, it really does.
It's been like a test. They've tested it. The compound in American chocolate, I think it's the milk powder that they use, does to British taste like vomit.
That's why Hershey smells like vomit chocolate. It's
We
vile.
just can't eat
Oh my
it.
God.
But
So
it's
we-
also why Americans wouldn't like British chocolate.
I do like British chocolate, though. I like
I do
dark
too.
chocolate, though.
Okay.
Oh, you're fancy.
There we go.
All right, we have 4 more to go with Brit or not a Brit. So let's get our next caller on the line. It's Carl. Hey there, Carl.
Morning, it.
All right. Morning it to you, sir. All right, Carl, we sent you a movie line. Could you please give it for Joel and Leah?
Sure. Oh. See, I made Louis a bet here. See, Louis bet me that we couldn't both get rich and put y'all in the poorhouse at the same time. He didn't think we could do it. I won. Trading Places.
All right, that's from Trading Places, the movie. Okay.
He doesn't actually say it in the movie.
Brit or not a Brit? Let's start with you, Leah.
I go Brit, maybe from Manchester.
All right.
Union.
Yeah,
How about
I think
you,
he's
Joel?
being sneaky. He's definitely a Brit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Northern.
Carl, where are you from?
I'm from Harrogate, North Yorkshire.
Okay. All right. They got it. They got it right.
Well, you guys are good.
Did you nail the region? Is that anywhere near?
Well,
No?
yeah,
Well, it
he's
is
Yorkshire,
north,
he's north, but we thought
North is
Mancunian.
very generic.
Yeah.
So,
What
I
is
don't
the
think he deserves a point.
TH is an F?
Yeah,
yeah,
that's just
both.
like both. That doesn't belong to any region. That's just like relaxed speech. I
Yeah,
guess.
just a little shortcut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Adele actually does that. I think she'll use
Yeah.
an F instead of the TH.
A lot. She does a lot.
Yeah. And why is Liverpudlian so sing-songy? Like when Steve does his
Yeah.
Paul McCartney, it's like it's really up and down. And
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
I don't know
It's
why.
just-
I
it's
really
kinda
like
what?
it. It's got a
Yeah.
but the only thing about Liverpudlian accent I don't like is the K's. So when they say Coke, they'd say Coke.
Chicken and a can
It's
of
like a
Coke.
It's
Really?
not a very nice.
That's almost Hasidic here. Like
Thank you, Carl. Appreciate it, man.
This is my rabbi.
Yeah. How about speaking of pronunciations? A popular one in slang is bruv.
Ah, bruv.
With a V on the end,
Ted
which is short
Lasso?
for brother, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
suppose so.
Or you
brother,
can say it
bruv.
to anyone.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah, bruv.
It's
Or
like a bro here, like we say, "What's
Yeah.
up, bro?" You know. So,
Yeah.
but we don't do the V. But that's one I've found that's very, very common.
This is my brother.
Yeah. Has anybody made you aware of John yet?
No.
Yes.
Oh,
John.
okay.
In
John.
Urban Outfitters, that man taught us John.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were asking about John, a person. I'm like, where is this John person?
JAWN.
We learned that. We learned that. Yeah.
Doesn't it just mean anything? Like
Yes.
this water
To
bottle,
now.
like,
Yeah.
this John of water.
Yeah, exactly.
You could literally say this John of John.
This John of John.
Yeah, because the
Wow.
John is the bottle and the John is the water as well. So.
Were you just at an
Wow.
Urban Outfitters store? Were you shopping?
Yeah, we were just having a look around, and then randomly one of the employees, lovely man, would start just teaching us Philly slang. Lovely.
I don't think they'd ever seen Londoners before.
Yeah.
Because
You
then
know-
we heard him going around going, they're from London.
Oh my God, it was
They look human.
You know what? I'm going to tell you about this city that you may find surprising because Philadelphia has a reputation for being a bit cold and well, not cold, but rude
Rough, yes.
and tough. But
No.
when I have brought people in from out of town and I'll show them around the city, I kid you not, they can tell. You know, like I remember pointing up at City Hall and mentioning Billy Penn's hat and so on. A person came along wearing I think they were wearing a Rocky shirt. And just started jumping in on the conversation
Right.
and offering up, and they were like, "Oh, you know, there's a little version of the statue on the Comcast building."
Yeah.
I'm like, "I know," and so they just started sharing information. I think you'll be surprised to find out how friendly people actually
They are. They really
here
are.
and want to show you. People are very proud of this city, extremely proud of this city, and will want to offer up, hey, here's some slang for you guys, you know, to kind of help you out around town.
Yeah, I don't think it gets enough limelight, does it?
Yeah.
I don't feel
Well,
that.
we've got some stuff like the love statue, for example.
Did you know Urban Outfitters headquarters are in Philadelphia? If you go down South Broad Street in the Navy Yard, that's where their headquarters are. It's a pretty cool place.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right.
so cool.
3 more for Brit or not a Brit.
Okay.
I have John. Good morning, John.
Is this a John or
This is a John. Not a John. All right, John, are you ready to try this?
WMMR.
We'll do some more giveaways in a little bit. Pizzeria Vetri with some gift cards, so get set for that. And also just a reminder about the Preston and Steve Belly Flop Championships coming up on the 3rd of August. And we need contestants, all right? We're light on contestants. And I just want to emphasize how easy this is to sign up and do. And you don't have to be what you would think is a very large individual to create a gigantic splash. The splash is great, but it's all about style and presentation and however you want to
I
interpret
would
that.
say, and honestly, since we haven't done this in a number of years, people have sort of lost the context of how this goes. I would say that you could win simply by your presentation and not have an all too amazing belly flop.
So we need you to sign up, and there's a good chance you might win right now. So
yeah.
Get signed up. 6 to 8 p.m. August 3rd at Valley Beach and Valley Forge Casino Resort. It's open to the public. We want everybody who wants to have a good time to come out and be a part of this. You just have to be 21 years of age or older. And you can go to WMMR.com and sign up. If you know someone who's crazy enough to do this, tell them about it. Let them know that this is going on. Have them sign up. There are videos for you to watch on the website of how things have gone in years past. And let's have you out for this event. August
Hell, we've done it.
3rd. We have done it. We've taken some award-winning plunges into the pool, and you could join us as well. So do that now. We want you to sign up, and we want people to come out and be a part of this whole thing. Are you guys familiar with the Barbenheimer fascination that's been going on?
with the two movies.
Yeah.
Dude.
I didn't know
okay.
it had a name.
Yeah.
It's got a name.
My son actually texted me something about that yesterday.
Barbie and Oppenheimer are opening on the same weekend.
Yes.
And so there's a phenomenon that's coming out with the release of both of these movies. They clearly are complete polar opposite ends of the cinematic spectrum. And so people are putting together the two. And there are memes, there are videos, there's all kinds
Clips,
of things.
faux trailer clips.
Yep, that have put Barbie and Oppenheimer in the same movie together.
So I saw Oppenheimer 2 nights ago, and my kids knew that I was going, and they were like, "Oh man, I wanted to go see that." So my son texted me yesterday, said, "Hey, was Oppenheimer good?" And I said, "Yeah, but I don't think you would like it. I just, there's a ton of dialogue and blah blah blah." And then he texted me back. He goes, "I'm a man. I enjoy the controversial philosophical argument of Barbie and maybe an Oppenheimer to lighten the mood." And I just thought that was so funny, but he probably got that off of TikTok or something like that.
Right.
Yeah. So, yes, Polygon describes the two films as extreme opposites, and Variety called the phenomenon the movie event of the year.
And Oppenheimer's at 92% Rotten Tomatoes. Barbie's at 88%. So both getting great advanced reviews.
Okay.
I have a question because I had an issue with Oppenheimer, especially in the beginning of the movie where I couldn't understand the dialogue. I mean, at some point, and I knew they were speaking English, but their mouths were moving.
I sent you, I don't know if you got the text I sent. So
No, I did. I responded to your text. But my question is, can you go to movies with
subtitles?
Subtitles.
They do have them, and they will have also enhanced listening devices sometimes where you can hold it up to your ear and hear the dialogue better. It has been known that occasionally, like, for example, Interstellar and The Dark Knight, that Nolan likes his soundtrack mixed a little bit louder, and sometimes it makes it difficult to hear the dialogue.
Yeah.
So, so you're not crazy to think that. But I never had a problem with understanding Bane or the dialogue in Interstellar. But for some people, I know you guys leave the subtitles on a lot. You at home,
Always.
you do. Well, you have the
Always.
tinnitus, Preston, right?
Yep,
So-
always, yeah.
Yeah.
So it was just because they were speaking so quickly, Casey?
The sound mix was something.
Were they using a lot of complex words as well?
Listen,
Okay.
we're talking,
Yeah, talking nuclear
physics and chemistry and all that stuff. So they're and and I was like, I started to get concerned. I'm like, am I having a stroke because I can't understand?
I smell toast. Yeah. Do they sell toast at the concession stand?
The mouth was moving, and I just heard like blap blat or blurp, and I'm like, those aren't words. Those aren't words that I just heard.
We cannot let the Nazis complete their blah 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 program before we do.
By the way, they should sell toast at the at the movie theater.
No butter, just
I like
plain
toast.
toast.
No, some butter.
Yeah.
Butter, even, some jelly options and things like that. And maybe even an English muffin or
Sitting
two.
there with a big bucket of toast.
What about saltines? I would have saltines at a movie.
You would have saltines
I'm just
at a
trying
movie?
to think of, like, what do I eat at home?
Would you be spraying that all over the
dude,
people in front of you?
I will bring home food to movies sometimes.
Yeah?
Sandwich and stuff like that.
Kebabs?
Sure.
Kebabs?
I mean, listen, Matt, they do sell pizzas and hot dogs and things like that at some concession at movie theaters.
But they don't have, like, goldfish. I think, like, okay, I'll go through, like, a bag of goldfish or a sleeve of saltines and, some of these things that I like to eat at home while I'm watching movies.
Take them to the movie theater.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
Do it. Be a rebel.
We're
gonna do it.
busting
I'm
down
doing
doors
it.
here. Yeah.
What do you have there, son? That looks like sardines.
You bring sandwiches?
Yeah.
Really?
Sure.
I brought Wawa.
I have. Yeah, I'll get like the grapes and cheese and crackers thingy.
Yeah, Casey.
If I am not in candy mode, which I usually am.
Well,
so
Preston.
normally it's peanut M&Ms and Reese's peanut butter cups.
So you
I
order
go
from
on that-
Grubhub?
No, well, I haven't. You probably can. I've gone to that Wawa near the King of Prussia Theater, got myself a shorty and the peanut M&Ms, Wawa bag right in the theater. You good to go.
Did you know the Oaks Theater closed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude.
It's been like pretty vacant since pandemic and then
That
they closed,
theater?
That
they
was
closed
my
permanently. I know.
movie theater. That's where we would go
Is that
to
the
movie
closest?
theaters.
It was getting
Yeah.
audiences were
excellent.
getting smaller and smaller.
That sucks.
And the flip side of the coin, I guess, is that King of Prussia continues to do well. So, but like, Wayne has been closed. Anthony Wayne Theater on 30 has been closed since pre-pandemic as well, and I doubt that'll ever reopen.
I wonder if what they can do to I mean, it's a giant building that's not being used right now. I know. There was a similar theater area down in Rio Grande, and they opened it. It's a movie theater. It is a bowling alley. It is a golf simulator now. And
a urology center.
And possibly, dude, you know what, Steve? I think
Good
there's
prostate
something.
exam.
I think there's something very similar to that right next door to it. So you're not, too far off.
That whole Oaks complex is just strange, though, because it's a lot of it is piecemeal. And I used to live right next to it.
Oh, yeah.
And so the theater was nice and it was fine. But, like, you're right next to what used to be a tire factory, which became Arnold's. And then the convention center is next to that. And so it's like all of these things. And then when there was the traveling
Turf Club.
The traveling circus comes into town. They use that parking lot.
Right.
The Turf Club's been closed for like 5 or 6 years at this point.
The rock climbing gym.
The
is
rock
still
climbing,
there.
the Philly
trampoline
Rock gym.
place.
Exactly, yeah. So it's just, I don't know. What they really should do is blow it all up like Oppenheimer, and then start over.
Dust off, blow it up from orbit.
Wow. Which, by the way, Tom Cruise is on board for Barbenheimer.
He goes to that Oaks Theater?
No, he's on board for Barbenheimer. He bought tickets to see both of the movies, while his own film, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, is scheduled to still be in theaters while Barbie and Oppenheimer are being released.
Tom Cruise has become a source of argument at home because I love his movies, and I admit and understand that he's kind of an oddball.
Yeah.
But the Mission Impossible series is like my favorite movie series. I think it's so
excellent.
So and or one of my favorite movie series. My fiance is currently watching Going Clear, however, and she dived into the Scientology end with Tom Cruise, and that part of it is conflicting.
But still, if you go back and you watch A Few Good Men, you're like, dude's good.
He's a great actor.
Dude's really, really good.
The movies are awesome.
Yeah. And what was I watching recently? There was another cruise thing. Well, I mean, Top Gun Maverick.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like,
I love it.
That came home.
I love that friggin' movie. The original for me was always like, and the second one just nailed it.
Yeah.
I mean, she knows that, like, if she's watching Going Clear, she knows that he's a prisoner in his own religion now. And, like, he can't. I know he's big, huge, filthy, rich, tons of money mansion guy, but he's also.
I guess they're like I know, right? We shouldn't be talking about Scientology,
Well,
but like,
let's move on to abortion.
Right. There are the Leah Reminies of the world who have abandoned that church and have spoken out against it, and I guess that's what her point is.
Hang on, I want to go to James. He's got something lighter to point out. Hi, James. Morning.
Good morning.
What's up, bud?
So the movie theater in Oaks,
Yeah.
is going to be reopening.
So is the actual theater, or is it a new ownership?
It's under new ownership. It's under new ownership by the people who own, I believe, Arnold.
Oh, excellent. Love Arnold's. Wonderful.
So as you're watching a movie, there'll be go-karts racing.
No, but they are planning to opening stages. I believe they're talking about an August open.
And is it going to just remain a movie theater?
It's going to remain a movie theater, but they're also looking for the long-term plan to put mini bowl and laser tag, as well as like events for offices and stuff like that.
All right. So it's a lot of space. It's a multiplex. It's a big theater.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of theaters. Like
All right.
12 screens there or something.
They should let you do that actively while the movie's playing. Yeah.
All right. Thanks, James. Appreciate it. All right. Well, I'm good. It's because that's my theater, and it sucks when something that you go to with a decent amount of regularity shuts down. And
Absolutely.
You got a little further out to go to some other places. So anyhow, the Barbenheimer thing I thought was interesting, and Steve had sent me over the article about it.
It's become huge. And by the way, if you're talking about viral campaign, because the stars can't be out promoting the movies now. So they're having to rely on they can't do the talk shows or anything like that.
Yeah.
So the viral campaign for Barbie has been huge.
If this strike drags on for a while, if we're talking like a year or something like that, are we going to have a gap in films down the road?
We've had this before. So mind you, they just crawled out of the hellish pits of COVID to start producing stuff, and now this is going on. And I get it. I understand why it's going on. I forget who was. It was covered. One of the higher ups, one of the super powerful in Hollywood, said this could be, if it goes on too long, an industry-killing event. Like, it could destroy a lot of the main mechanisms of movie making if they don't do something quickly.
Kill the industry?
The way the industry is run now could be changed. Now, it got changed dramatically with COVID. A lot, and all of that stuff. I forget who it was. I think might have been a former Disney exec. But he's no idiot when it comes to this stuff. He says this needs to be resolved soon.
Well, yeah. I mean, strikes are meant to be disruptive, right? And that's what this is doing. I saw John Mulaney. He did that Hot Ones show, and he talked about the fact that one of the sort of upshots of the strike is that there is so much content out there. We'll be able to catch up on the stuff we've been trying to watch for a while they're not able to create new content.
I officially started making a list yesterday.
Yeah.
Things to see?
Of shows that I had started and kind of bailed on, and other shows that I want to get to because I started watching something else and forgot I was watching the other one. There's that many shows.
Where are you on Succession?
I'm like episode 8 of season 3.
Okay.
So I gotta continue on that. But this show From has come along that Steve recommended. I started watching that,
And you're
that's now
enjoying it.
taken over my time, and I've forgotten. There's all these episodes of Black Mirror that I haven't even watched yet that are out. I've The Bear.
Yeah.
I've started watching that, and we took a little break from that. And I'm I made a list. Yeah, Silo. I started watching that, and what else? Shrinking. I need to get to that one too.
I love that one. Yeah.
So
the
good.
Bear, by the way, the episode you were talking about, Preston, they do a flashback. And
Dude.
everybody in this, I mean, it is like, you talk John Mulaney, like all these people, all these cameos.
Oh, no
Jamie
kidding.
Lee Curtis. So here's the particular thing about, and it's a great show. I love
It
The Bear.
is.
But this one episode, I turned to Rochelle and I'm like, I don't think I can watch this anymore because they go to their family home, the flashback to their family life. And there are so many people talking at the same time over each other. It's a yelling household.
Right.
And I'm like, it was like 20 minutes of that nonstop, and I almost couldn't take it anymore. Now we got through the episode, and I'm going to watch the next one. But I'm like, I have to take a break from this.
I
for a
haven't
while.
watched
It
any of the
was
new season yet.
too
Yeah.
much.
Does that happen a couple of times? Throughout the season?
No, that's
Just
the
that one
only time
episode?
it's happened. And
All right.
it was entirely too much for me.
When that happens, it literally gives me anxiety. My brain shuts down.
That's what is it? Righteous? What is it? Gems. Uncut Gems.
Uncut Gems.
That one.
Yeah.
That was a one watcher for me, man.
I'm glad you said that. I have to write this down on my list. Righteous Gemstones.
There you go.
How do you spell righteous?
RIGHT.
EOUS.
I thought you watched it. I thought you're the one that
This
told
is the
me
next
to watch it.
the next season. Is out now, and so I see. I forgot about it.
I like the ability to binge, and Casey has recommended to me and to all of us for years the show Barry on HBO, and so I'd never watched any of it until now, and I got 4 seasons, but I'm just, that's my show right now, and so when that's done, then I'll probably pick up Righteous Gemstones or Ted Lasso. I haven't gotten to that yet.
Here you go. A couple of texts come in. It says, the Bear Christmas episode made me cringe till my face got stuck. Another one says, I was having a panic attack during that episode.
Yeah.
But somebody says you'll like the next episode.
I'll tell you what, the first season had that episode that caused panic for a lot of people, which is sort of appeared to be done in real time, where they were cooking meals and running into each other in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And the camera seemed to be on one continuous shot. And anyone who apparently worked in the restaurant industry was having a heart attack because they could relive the pain and anguish of trying to get meals out on time.
By the way, Steve, you know what we get in like 2 or 3 weeks is season 3 of Only Murders in the Building.
Yes, which I'm very much looking forward. So to the initial point, if there is a bit of a drought, there's enough that's been produced and just about ready to go.
Yeah.
It's weird, though. I agree with the Mulaney point. I didn't know he'd made that. There's just such a wealth of stuff out there. On the other side of the coin is the conundrum about what do I go to next?
Yeah.
Because you have 400 things presented in front of you.
Well, maybe if we do get a break in this stuff, we could get back to nature and go on a hike or something like that. By the way, are there any apps that you can use?
There is one.
What is that?
It's called All Trails.
Okay. Oh, I have
and I recommended it to Kathy, and Casey has it, and I've used it for a long time. It's really convenient. You can download hikes. So I went to Shenandoah National Park when we were on vacation, and I downloaded a few different trails. And Kathy was telling me a story about her trip to the Grand Canyon, and it sounded very similar. So you can download a hike that you want to do, text it to people, see if they want to do it as well. It rates the hikes, moderate, easy, difficult, whatever.
Does it trail you as you're on the trail?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so there's like you can GPS it, Steve, and you can see how far you have to go and see,
All right.
So Andrea and Ben and I did a hike down towards a waterfall. And I had texted Ben a few different hikes the day before, and I texted Andrea, and so we all agreed, all right, we'll do this one. Well, Ben didn't realize that we were doing option A of the waterfall hike. He thought we were doing option B.
Hello?
Steve. So we got down there, and he was having a bad day. It was, it was a 16-year-old having a bad day, and which just means he's not talking a lot, and we didn't know what was going on. We stopped. A long hike down, which means then a long hike back up. And we stopped at the waterfall, and then he's like, I don't want any part of this. I want to get home, whatever. He starts going back up.
I want my Whoopie.
Well, not that he wanted a whoopee, but he just wanted to get out of there.
Yeah,
he was tired.
it's over.
Tired of being in the woods. However,
It's over.
We're in the middle of a national park with no cell service. He didn't have his phone, and so he decides he's going to go right when we're going left. And he went off in a direction and was ahead of us, and I had no idea where he was, and I completely panicked. I lost my ass. Like, I didn't know how far ahead he was. I didn't know which direction he had gone. And I am there, and you guys know that I'm a relatively loud person when I want to be, screaming as loud as I possibly can in the woods to try to track my son down. And we're in the woods. The trees are buffering the sound. He couldn't hear a damn thing.
Wow.
And
how did you finally reunite?
Well, I hauled ass as best I possibly could, running uphill, which I'm not great at. And eventually, like, he slowed down enough where I could get to him. And I panicked. I mean, I've had some instances while hiking where things have gone a little wrong. And, you're in the middle of nowhere with no cell reception, and he was off by himself.
Did he hear you?
No,
calling him?
no, not even
You
a
should have let
word.
Kathy teach you how to use the app.
Well, but the thing of it is, if you're going to do that, first of all, if you're going to leave somebody and you're hiking, let them know that you're going to go in a different direction. But like, make sure you're hiking the right hike. He didn't even check the app that he was going in the wrong direction.
What'd you say to him when you caught up to him?
I lost my ass. I was angry, and I just was like, dude, if you're gonna do this, you gotta let me and Andrea know, or let one of us know. He just took off, and he just wasn't thinking.
And you turn around and go, "Where's Andrea?"
I mean, dude, I hauled off. Fortunately, she just was like, 200 yards behind us or whatever, and caught up. But yeah, so Kathy was telling me a story about a hike that she did in Arizona, and it sounded kind of similar.
Yeah, so we were hiking with somebody who lives in Sedona, and she was like, I know where we're going, So we didn't I had the app, but we didn't download the hike, and it was an easy hike. It was like one of the last days, and I really wanted to go to this cave, and it was supposed to be.
You wanted to go to a cave. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was awesome. And so it was a mile hike, mile back. It was going to be 2 miles. It was short. It was very hot. We went at like 9 o'clock. No, I think we went at like 8:30 in the morning so we could get it done before it got too hot. And we're walking and walking and walking, and I'm following this lady that lives there, and she's assuring me we're in the right direction. She's like, "No, I've never been to the cave, but I know it's this way." And we're
You
like,
follow Crazy Bertha?
We were probably about 2 miles in. And I was like, okay, it was supposed to be 2 total.
Right.
No, well, it's got to be over here. So we walk probably another half a mile. We run into these 2 girls, and I'm like, did you guys find the cave? And the girl looks at me. She goes, it's now about 9:30. And she goes, we've been here since 6 a.m. and we can't find it. None of us, not one of. So now we start hiking with these girls. None of us had cell service, and so I'm like, I want to pull this app up, but I think, Nick, do you have to download
Yes.
right? So
if you're off the grid, you have to have the map already downloaded to your phone.
Right. So we couldn't get anything. So the girls are like, forget it, we're going back. We all turn around, we're walking back, and then we're starting to get like 1 bar service. I'm like, wait, hold on, let's see where this is. And long story short, we had turned what was supposed to be a 2-mile hike into 5 miles. We get
where you ladies going?
we're about 5 miles right now, and we're by the parking lot. We're like, forget it. And that's when the service popped up, and it was right there. I'm like,
You said like 10 minutes from the parking lot?
It was like
Look at this
10,
one,
15
Goober.
minutes
They
from
should
the
call
parking
her
lot.
teeth.
And so Jace is like, no, I'm done. And I'm like,
you never made it.
Mommy, no, I was like, I really wanted to see this. I go, we can see it. It's right there. He was finally like, fine, but you're buying me ice cream tonight.
Wow.
I was like, all right. And it was really close to the parking lot, but it was the last probably 5 minutes to get into the cave. It was a straight rock climb up. So it was a little difficult, but we got in there. It was worth it. We were the only ones in there for a little while. So it was cool.
Somebody texted and said the subway cave. Is that it?
I didn't go to the subway cave. I went to the birthing cave. It looks like a vagina.
Really?
Oh, did you do the Devil's Bridge at all?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. The Devil's Bridge is cool. That's in Sedona. But you get there and you get to the pinnacle is this cool little.
Did you go to Sedona?
I did back in a couple Octobers ago.
Okay.
And we just did that hike. But you get to the bridge. It's just a natural bridge. And then you have to wait for, if you want to get a cool picture, everybody's kind of like lined up waiting to get that picture. I was like, I'm not waiting.
I'm not waiting for this. Yeah.
I didn't do it, but it is cool.
There's a lot of, there's a Snoopy
formation
that looks like Snoopy. There's
That's
a coffee cup. Yeah,
Okay.
so you get to see all
Casey, you're talking about taking photos. There's, Arches National Park where all those natural arches happen.
Yeah.
When a full moon happens, the full moon will rise behind the arch, which with the most significant one that they have in the park. Except that 4,000 photographers are also descending on the park at the same time, so they can get the iconic shot of the full moon going up in between, from the arch. There,
Sure.
Here it is in the studio.
Oh, that's awesome. Looks like an eyeball.
It's a great shot. It's really cool, but everybody wants to get the same photo.
Hey, I have a question via a texter here, Nick. Somebody said if you're going to go out hiking out in the wilderness, why not get a satellite phone? I have never looked into that. I assume those are super expensive.
They used to be. I don't know if they still
There's
are.
the device that I got that I eventually smashed with a hammer because they tried to screw me on the contract. But
right.
it's the you have it as well.
Well, I had one when I did Kilimanjaro because cell service was different 11 years ago.
Right.
So now cell service works in a lot of places, but also, not for nothing, but I like being in the middle of a national park with no service. I like getting away from everything. So I don't know. Sometimes some part of me doesn't want to be connected.
But what I have I'm sorry to interrupt. But,
No, let's go ahead, Preston.
But you could have it as just as simply as an emergency.
And that's the Garmin.
Garmin InReach, which is what I had. So what happens is, Preston, it is a satellite device. You can text.
Right.
It'll keep, so you can enter in your phone that's with you. It'll go through that, and you'll be able to text and stay in contact. Now, when I used it, I bought the program, to. If you need to be rescued out of an area, they will cover that. There's an insurance program and all that stuff that goes with it. But it is really one of those peace of mind. I have it on me. If I'm injured or something goes on, I can text or even just hit an emergency button. It will locate you using the satellite system. So that, for me, if you're out alone or you're out by yourself or just a small group, get one of these. And it seems to make sense. And then do what I do when they screw you on the billing, smash it with a hammer.
Smash it with a hammer is a good idea. I was looking into this, press because I wanted to, when I was in the Grand Canyon, I was there on my birthday, and I was like, okay, I want to be able to talk to my family on my actual birthday. So I looked into it. You can rent them, and even like the renting process was like just cost prohibitive. I was like, it's not that important.
Do you have to buy a subscription? Or you pay?
So you can get like a month plan.
You get like 12 texts a month or something like that. We have one. We have one of the Garmin's, and what I like to do is if I'm going like backcountry hiking or whatever, we will text people, say, hey, we're not going to be in communication for a few days. If it's an emergency or we have an emergency, you can reach us on this text device, like the Garmin, and you just have it on you in case you need to contact anyone.
It was actually fairly easy to set up, and once you had it set up, again, you can reactivate it when you need to use it, deactivate it when you don't use it, and you can get an unlimited plan if you're, just one thing it'll also do, Preston, is it'll provide your location to people who are subscribed to your connection, your portal, so to speak. Okay. So I was able to follow the progression of this person on the trip, and it was great.
Okay. And somebody was saying that the iPhones have an emergency satellite service set up nowadays.
Yes, that's
too.
True. Right. I wonder. I don't know anyone who's had.
I've read stories. I read a couple stories. I remember early on when they debuted that feature, but I'd completely forgotten about it. That there's a way to communicate where you are.
I think
via that.
Is it just a beacon that it activates? It's a locator.
Might be.
It might just be a locator. I'm not sure that it accesses the ability so that you can use it as a sat phone.
People are texting in to know the name of that app again, Nick.
Yeah, it's called All Trails, and it is a great app. Just make sure that you and your son are on the same page when using it.
All
or
Trails.
It's downloaded
All
before
Trails.
you start your hike.
Yeah, and it's there are professional versions of it. There are, you can pay for it on certain levels, but the free app is great.
So to the point where if I want to go to like Evansburg State Park locally.
And that's the great thing about it is like you want to do a local hike in Valley Forge or Evansburg or whatever, they're there. It literally is all of the trails that you can think of.
Look at this fella, Goober. He got pretty feet.
I used to be a model, sir.
Yeah, keep talking.
I don't do that anymore.
And then people
got a nice voice, too.
People will rate the trails and say, hey, we saw, a bear here last week or whatever.
Yeah, I saw some people.
The bears also have access.
Do you think bears talk to each other about when they have people encounters, maybe?
I saw the fattest son of a bitch. Had no reason to be in the park.
Yeah, like they're, health conscious or anything.
Get this, flip phone.
Yeah. All right. All right, well, I'm glad everybody's safe.
Yes.
And you made it back alive and all that. We need to take a break, and we also need to give something away because we have had Pizzeria Vetri here this morning. And
amazing.
Thank you to John and Christina who came by. We have a $50 gift card for call number 18 at 215-263 WMMR. Here's something they do, maybe you did not know about at Pizzeria Vetri. You can sign up for private classes and workshops featuring hands-on events like Pizza After Dark, a Little Chef's class, Kathy, a limoncello making class.
Oh, well, isn't that fun?
Doesn't that sound fun? That sounds like an activity. You can visit pizzeriavetri.com for details, and they brought so much great stuff here. So let's set you up. They're located in Rittenhouse Square, Devon, the Art Museum, King of Prussia as well. We'll be back in just a moment. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
A part of me is dirty and sloppy, but I like that. Just like all the other parts of myself. I can forgive. Can you say the same for yourself? Can you forgive? Are you capable of that?
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's pretty solid.
Yeah, that's good.
They're a little confused. Let's see if we can get an actual answer. Leah, what do you think?
I think he's a Brit.
Okay, what do you think, Joel?
Yeah, I think a Brit. From London, I think.
Yeah.
From London.
That accent was definitely like Cockney style East London, wasn't it?
Okay. John, where are you from?
Well, I'm not a slut, but I'm 100% American.
Somebody get him a beach.
We have a winner. Nice. It says here you're from South Jersey?
I'm from South Jersey, Sewell, New Jersey.
Nice. Where did you pick up this ability to mimic the accent?
Watch a lot of YouTube, Preston.
Watch them. Yes.
Make sure you watch Joel and Leah. You'll love it, man.
Perfect your accent.
Absolutely.
All right, John, we'll be in touch. We'll get you something for your trouble, my friend. All right, we'll go for two more.
Also, Silver Linings Playbook. That line, yes, it was Tiffany, yeah.
Thank you. All right, Catherine, are you there?
I am. Morning.
All right, we have two Brits here that are going to try and determine whether or not you're faking it. Let's hear you deliver the Philadelphia-centric movie line we sent you for them. Go ahead.
Hey, woman. Hey, woman. Listen here. Since your old man ain't got no heart, maybe you'd like to see a real man. I bet you stay up late every night dreaming you had a real man, don't you? I'll tell you what. Bring your pretty little self over to my apartment tonight and I'll show you a real man.
Okay.
Do you know that line, Preston?
I don't. What is that?
Rocky 3.
Yeah, it's Clubber Lang.
Oh, man.
Remember when they're standing in front of the Rocky statue? Your woman, bring your woman over here. I'll show you what a real man is.
I haven't seen Rocky 3 in so long. Okay, let's go to Joel and see if he can determine Brit or not a Brit.
I thought she was very good, but I think not a Brit. I think California.
California
Brit.
Valley
Girl. Leah.
I thought it was a very, lovely, eloquent delivery, but I think not a Brit, so I'd be very surprised.
Catherine, where are you from?
Originally from Lancaster.
All right, Lancaster, PA.
All right, well done.
You didn't get it past him, but thank you very much for helping out. All right, we have.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye. All right, we have one more to go in Brit or not a Brit, and the final person is Robert. Robert, are you there?
Top of the morning it.
All right, top of the morning it to you. All right, Robert, we sent you a movie line from Philadelphia. Go ahead and give it to us, please.
You know where Southpaw comes from, I'll tell you. A long time ago, there was this guy, maybe a couple of 100 years ago. He was fighting around, I think it was around Philadelphia, and his arm, he was left-handed, and his arm was facing toward New Jersey, you see, and that's south. So then naturally they call him Southpaw. You see, Southpaw. South Jersey, South Camden, Southpaw. You know what I mean?
That's from Rocky Balboa.
Yes, yeah.
No, remember
when
that.
they were on the ice
Rocky.
skating rink.
What's that?
Number
Rocky.
Oh,
one. No, Rocky Balboa. Yeah, he's skating around with Adrian.
That's in the
ice
South
skating
Pole,
rink.
South,
Yeah, right.
South Philadelphia, South America, South, North, a direction, as in directions you might go, one of them being south.
And that's where we got it.
Yeah.
Joel, what do you think?
Yeah, I think Brit. I think he's from Highland.
Oh, poor man. He probably doesn't want to identify as British, does he?
Yeah.
And he's Irish, yeah.
You think he's Irish?
Yeah, I don't want to offend any, because Irish people don't like to be called British. But for the sake of the game, British.
follow you.
Okay.
But
All right.
I think Irish.
Robert, where were you born?
Glasgow, Scotland.
How did we get that
so
wrong?
we got it so wrong.
That's
I'm
embarrassing.
sorry, but that was so Irish.
Is that offensive to him?
You know what? I think Scottish and Irish get annoyed at English people for mixing up the accent. And
You're
we've done
right.
that.
Oh, we've just done.
I'm
done
so
it.
sorry.
You guys are so right because one of my favorite vacations my wife and I took was to Edinburgh.
Yeah.
And that is clearly something they're not fond of having the accent, the dialect confused. Yes.
No, I'm so sorry. We're such idiot English.
Robert, can you get past this comment they made?
I identify as Scottish, so I'm okay with it.
You identify as Scottish.
Where do you live now, by the way?
I live in Wilmington, Delaware, but I work in Delco.
Okay,
Delco.
How long have you been in the States?
15 years.
15
years. All right, man. Well, thank you for playing along. We appreciate that.
Cheers.
All right,
All right,
take care.
take care,
All right, there you go. Brit or
Well
not a Brit.
done.
All right, so
By the way, you guys killed it. You did a great job.
yeah, how did they? Did anybody keep score?
Yes. Somehow Joel ended up winning. 7-6.
That's what we said would happen. He's the linguist.
7-6.
Yeah, Joel got one right that Leah got wrong.
And then we had how many on there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We had 11, so that's not bad.
Yeah.
I think that's damn good.
Absolutely. It's a difficult thing, especially over a phone.
Yeah. There were a couple of them where I was like, yeah. Yep. You could tell right away, just trying a little bit too hard.
When Joel and Leah started laughing
Yeah, yeah.
immediately on something, never a good sign.
I have a sixth sense. I see dead people. No, that's Japanese.
Now, to put you guys on the spot, do you have any American accent that you try to pull off?
No, we can only do generic Valley Girl, can't
Generic, yeah.
Okay.
Valley Girl.
do
Try,
that.
give it a shot.
we? Okay, so give us something to say and then.
That's the hard part, is coming up with
okay.
something.
We can just
Tell us what you're doing today.
Okay, so today we are going to Preston and Steve, and then after that we are gonna try a Philly cheesesteak.
Oh.
Well done.
She even got the
Well
vocal
done.
fry in there.
A slightly confused.
Right.
Kardashian,
Vocal
yeah,
fry is
Kardashian,
very
little
yeah.
Kardashian.
Yeah.
Yep, there was a little Kardashian in there. How
Oh
about-
yeah. Oh, that's all our references, isn't it? Really. We
Yeah.
don't get a lot of.
Sadly.
Sadly.
How about you, Joel? What else are you doing today?
We might go to the Rocky Steps.
Yeah.
And to the penitentiary.
Yeah.
And we're just gonna have a good time, you know.
All right.
Yeah.
all right.
Antiseptic.
Yeah.
By the way, Eastern State Penitentiary, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
that
what
is
we
very
think.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, it was roundly condemned by Charles Dickens. So when for driving prisoners stone cold mad.
That's exactly what it did.
Yeah.
Yes. So you guys are in town for the next few days, and
Yeah.
how quickly will the videos you make end up being put up? Or do you need to spend time editing, or are you going to put them up as you go along?
So the first Philly videos will probably be out this week.
Okay.
Maybe next week. So yeah, if anyone's just wanted to jump on our channel and have a little watch of us,
You guys
then
are
you can.
so much fun, and I encourage people who haven't checked you guys out to check it out. It's very likable, and it's a great distraction and diversion, and it's
Yeah.
Thank
wonderful.
And so I was telling these guys off air that we're supposed to get a bunch of snow on Friday into Saturday, and they really should. If you have the right gear, try and go sledding down the Art Museum steps. It is a real thing that really happens when it snows out.
It's
We'd
worth,
definitely give that a
it's
go.
worth getting the gear for, isn't it?
All the gear, no
They'll
idea.
set you up.
Yeah.
And give out your social media and YouTube channel and all that stuff.
Yeah, sure. We are at Joel and Leah, JoelandLia, on everything.
Okay.
So you can find us that way.
Perfect.
All right, excellent. Well, thank you guys for coming by.
Thanks for having us.
It's great to
That was
see
fun.
you,
Thank
and
you so
hopefully,
much.
hopefully we'll be over there again.
Yeah,
sometime.
see you in London,
Definitely.
guys.
Come on
And,
over.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Excellent. All right, Joel and Leah, let's hear it for them, guys. With that, we are going to take a break. We will come back in just a moment, so make sure that you hang close, my friend. The band Coheed and Cambria will be at the Leah Core Center on July 27th. Tickets are going to go on sale tomorrow at 10 a.m. at coheedandcambria.com. They are promoting their highly anticipated new record, which is Vaxis to a Window of the Waking Mind, and spiraling somewhere in the United States as we speak on a bus, headed out on tour. He is joining us live. Please welcome the singer of the band, the man behind the music, Mr. Claudio Sanchez. This morning. Claudio, good morning, sir.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
It's our pleasure, man. Listen, I'm going to be straight up with you from the very get-go, because we're excited about having this interview, and I just have the smallest amount of knowledge of Coheed and Cambria. I've been aware of you guys for a long time. I only know a few songs, and I was like, man, do I kind of, BS this guy and just pretend like I know all of his music and do the interview that way? But then I thought about it. I'm like, you know what? you've got such diehard fans. The fans know about your music. They're going to go to your show. But how about the people that might not be that familiar with? And let's bring some new people on board this. And so I want to be one of those people. And the reason I know I'm going to be one of those people is I had this same type of sensation of just checking out and diving into your catalog in the last couple of days that I had when I first, somebody turned me on to Rush. Okay, so I'm a prog guy, and Rush is my band. And when somebody played 2112 for me the first time, that was my first dive into conceptual music. And I was like Pinto in Animal House when he finds out that there's an atom on your fingernail could be a tiny little universe. I was just like, I can't handle this. I was blown away. So I'm really open to diving deep into the world of Coheed and Cambria because it's a very dense universe. There's a lot of material there. And I bet you love hearing about people coming on board and really experiencing the music, you know?
Yeah, well, that's actually a big conversation we had when making Baxis 2 with our A&R Johnny Minardi. Is just like, Coheed and Cambria has been a band now like 20 years. And it's like, well, what does that look like to somebody coming on board? And it's not that different from, say, like somebody getting introduced to maybe the Star Wars universe and then realizing there's this whole mythology, this whole catalog of records behind them that's vast, And so, yeah, I mean, it's definitely a conversation that I love sort of having is like, this is way more than just music. It's a culture, and all because, I started it as a kid because I was shy. I just had a hard time singing about myself, and I was afraid to let people know about me. So I created a concept to hide behind.
And for those who don't know, Claudio, is that the band's work, now listen, there are concept albums. There's The Wall, and there's 2112, and there's Dark Side of the Moon, and these albums that have this entire, project that's just filled with this story, and it's amazing. But the band's entire work, from what I understand, is all a conceptual piece. Is that a correct assumption or a correct characterization?
Yeah. Yep, with the exception of one record, which was called The Color Before the Sun, but everything else is part of a mythology I constructed, a science fiction epic called The Amory Wars, where Coheed and Cambria... Yeah, where Coheed and Cambria are essentially, in the first 5 stories, act as kind of the Adam and Eves. They sort of set the whole mythology off, and then everything else is really about their sons coming into manhood, like an adolescent growing into a man and understanding like his place within this universe that he essentially has control over. And then after that, we kind of fall into this new story arc that we're working on called Baxis, and that. When I look at the Baxis story arc and I think about myself in there, whereas like those original Coheed records, I see myself as the adolescent and I'm growing up, Mm-hmm. Whereas in the Baxis story arc, I see myself as the father, and that's really kind of the trajectory there. Those are the themes there, is how a father deals with, a man kind of coming into his own as a dad, basically.
I love this notion. I would have been, and I am now going to, because I just as Preston said, we're both fans of this kind of approach to music. It's few and far between these days, and it used to be the norm. And you would just get
college reunion on Saturday night. So yeah, it should be awesome. I used to see them every time they would come through town, and then I kind of waned a little bit and didn't go to as many shows. And then last year, I was completely reinvigorated.
Wow.
I fell in love with the band all over again.
Nice. All right, we're going to take our final look at traffic. Let's go ahead and do that now. Kathy, what's going on?
That is a good idea. 95 southbound slows from Girard to the Vine Expressway. The Vine westbound heavy 95 to Broad Street, the Ben Franklin Park.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
All right, let's begin in Adrian, Michigan. After more than a year, an agreement has been reached in a fight against the horrible stench from a powdered eggplant in Adrian, Michigan.
A powdered eggplant?
Yeah. No, well, okay, not an eggplant. A powdered egg, plant.
A plant that makes powdered egg.
Yes, there you go. So, and not an actual organic plant, but a manufacturing
Not
facility.
an eggplant that works as a
correct.
barrister in London.
Residents said that the Crimson Holdings plant in Adrian creates an awful odor around
I would imagine
town,
it would.
that affects everyone, including businesses. People are coming in saying it smells like something is dead out there, according to a local worker. Crimson Holdings makes egg powder for the pet food industry, and the plant is right in the middle of the town.
Where is this?
It's in Adrian, Michigan.
Wow.
And attorney David Durbin, who represents Adrian residents in a class action lawsuit against Crimson Holdings, a lawsuit says
We
that the
submit that the town smells like a dead hooker's ass.
the company failed to employ adequate odor mitigation strategies. Residents said their homes continue to be physically invaded by noxious odors from the plant. Adrian officials tried to get Crimson Holdings to shut down after receiving hundreds of complaints from residents. The Michigan Department of Environment, Great Lakes and Energy issued 8 violations against the company. A legal agreement was filed on Tuesday outlining a deal between the two sides, and Crimson Holdings will only operate between 9 p.m. and 6 a.m.
It's not going to change anything.
Until 45 have passed after an odor scrubbing machine is installed. And that machine is expected to fix the odor. It might not, but we will see. You know what's interesting is eggs are great. Eggs are wonderful. They taste fantastic. Why do they stink like that sometimes?
It's true.
You know what I mean? Like egg salad.
Yeah.
If I have a really, really gassy moment, it can smell like egg salad.
Yeah.
You smell like powdered eggs.
In Adrian. Yeah.
I'm sure that's horrific.
All right, maybe you've heard of this guy. His name is John Rice, and he tries to make his near-annual Darth Valley run as difficult as possible. He waits for the hottest day in the weather forecast, and he dons his multi-layered outfit of Darth Vader and sets out to run in Death Valley, and he runs a mile as fast as possible at the hottest time of the day.
How's he not dead?
He said it's exhausting, it's exhilarating, and it's also, Rice freely admits, incredibly stupid. He said, I don't agree with anybody else doing this. I don't even really agree with me doing this particularly. And he's been doing it for years and years, by the way. You can find pictures of him all over the place. Rice, who is 52, said he knows the risks. He trains all year for the tradition, running around his neighborhood near Santa Fe and throwing punches to the beat of EDM music in his in-home sauna. Working out in the 150-degree room several times a week is meant to acclimate his body to the temperatures in Death Valley, which is even less tolerable than usual this particular week as heat waves blanket much of the country. Rice said that he makes sure that he selects routes with cars nearby in case he feels himself overheated and needs to ask for help. His wife, Laura, accompanies him to the park most years and waits at the end, blasting their car's air conditioning and preparing to toss him a cold towel. The tradition became routine for her when the couple met around 2010. He was Laura's kooky neighbor who ran around the neighborhood on hot days before collapsing in his driveway. And apparently he ran Death Valley one time just as a lark, and he realized that he wanted to make it harder, and he thought that wearing a mask and black clothing would do the trick, and then he immediately thought of Darth Vader. God. And so he does this every single year. I'm not sure when he is going to do it this time, but it's pretty soon. Sometimes other runners join him, occasionally in a Chewbacca costume. Rice's fastest time was last year when he said he recorded a 6-minute, 18-second mile. This year he said he ran it. Oh, I guess he already did it. He ran it in about 10 minutes after recovering from an injury.
Hey, you're tempting fate.
Yep. An Alaska man inadvertently filmed his own drowning on a glacial lake with a GoPro camera mounted on his helmet, but authorities who recovered the camera have not yet found his body.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Alaska State Trooper said teams would continue to search Mendenhall Lake for the body of Paul Rodriguez Jr. Trooper said a helmet with a camera attached to it was confirmed to have belonged to Rodriguez was recording on July 11th when his kayak overturned and he went into the water. The recording continued showing the kayak overturned due to strong current coming from the glacier. The helmet was found on the lake shore. Juneau police said Rodriguez was believed to have gone missing on July 11th. A vehicle had been parked at the recreation area since July 11th. They determined that it was registered to him.
Jeez.
And a kayak had been found floating unattended on the lake.
What was that, a kayak?
Kayaki? That police said resembled one of Rodriguez's posts, and authorities put the pieces together and a search got underway. But they found his camera, they found the footage, but they have not found him. So that's pretty wild. All right, and then we'll do one more and wrap it up. Tiara Young Allen was on vacation with a friend in Dubai when a nightmare started unfolding at a rental car agency. The 29-year-old Allen's mother said that the Houston woman and her friend were in an accident while in the friend's rental car, and that when Allen went to the agency to retrieve her belongings from the car, she found out she could only receive those items if she paid an undisclosed amount of money. She dealt with a very aggressive individual, she said, a young man there who was screaming at her. Allen, her mother, says ultimately yelled back and found herself arrested and charged with screaming in public.
Screaming in public.
Allen. Yeah. Allen, whom the Daily Beast refers to as a trucker turned TikTok influencer,
of course,
has now been detained in the United Arab Emirates for 2 months. Her passport seized, and she's facing prison time.
It would not have happened in Abu Dhabi.
No, because she was yelling yabba dabba doo. Community activist Quanell X says she is in jail for one reason alone. She raised her voice. And in that country, a female is not even allowed to raise her voice. If she raises her voice, it's punishable by jail time. They have a strict law system that is really based on theocracy.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, doesn't it? And that is the last story I have in the bizarre file for you. All right. I didn't know we had more of these.
What?
I thought we gave away the last of them. I have 2 of these left. Tonight is Ladies' Night at Club Risque in Philadelphia. Sarah Parker and Marissa Magnotta are hosting this event. And if you would like to go, you will get MMRBQ tickets if you are callers number 10 and 11 at 215-263-WMMR. You have to be at least 21 years of age. Now, listen, if you want to win MMRBQ tickets as well, go there tonight. It's a male review, right? So they got the guys dancing for the ladies. No, it's not a male review. It's ladies.
I didn't know that.
I did not know that either. All right. Maybe you never know who's going to get coaxed to be up on stage.
Absolutely.
All right. So anyhow, if you would like to go tonight, they're going to be giving away MMRBQ tickets every 15 minutes. And ladies, by the way, you get free admission to Club Risque, so you can show up for free. Your first drink is free, and if you just want to kind of hang out and wait and try and win tickets, the first 30 ladies get a pair of limited edition collectible Preston and Steve boy shorts.
That's pretty cool.
As well. So that is tonight, and you'll get to see listener Kathy there too. So we'll take
Tell her hi.
those callers now, 215-263-WMMR, and we'll set you up. We're going to be back in just a second. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
I mean, you've got all of this stuff that's dovetailing. Preston, at 16 or 17, if you found this band, you'd be outside the tour bus.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, bugging the crowd. I mean, because honestly, I heard so many people that I respected and respect, Claudio, the band's name would always come up, and I'm like, well, I love this stuff. And so circuitously, I would experience and go, yeah, that's good. Not understanding, I mean, what is a very rare situation where it's not just simply a thematic concept album, it's a concept band. That is awesome. That's a mind blower. Did you start to fall into it just through the growth of the band, or was that the modus operandi from day one?
So when I started writing material, I think I was about, I was a teenager. Right. And I became the singer of this band. And when I was writing the material for it, before it was Coheed and Cambria, I started to realize, I just had a hard time. I had a hard time singing songs about myself, putting my heart on my sleeve. But though they were, so I just didn't want anybody to go, oh, I know that person now because of the music, So I started to construct this concept. So I took a trip to Paris, France in 1998. And there's when I started to construct the ideas of Coheed and Cambria, the characters, some of the first songs on the first record. Just because I hadn't been anywhere. I'm a New York kid. The furthest I had been was New Jersey. And now I'm in Paris, and it was so wonderful. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I should just really adopt this as a songwriter. Of course, I'm a teenager. I'm not thinking that strategically, but that's just what I thought. I was like, you know what? I'm shy. Let's just put this out there with a curtain, and that's what I did. And then, when the band got signed in 2001 to Equal Vision, an indie up in New York, they didn't like the name of the band we had at the time. And so Coheed and Cambria happened to be this project I was working on the side, and the band really liked it. And so with that, we adopted the name, and I took the concept with me, and it's just kind of been the I guess from day one when the signing, I guess you could say it's always been the thing.
That's great.
All right, so you had mentioned entering this universe for the first time, and you had sort of drawn the parallel between your music and, let's say, the Star Wars universe. So for us, the Star Wars universe started with Episode 4. So if we were talking to somebody who had never seen a movie before, we might start with Episode 4, and other people might say, no, you got to start with Episode 1, and then other people might say, no, you need to start with Rogue One or whatever. So what I want to ask you, 20 years later, and I've done this with other bands where I discovered a band, 4 records in. I'm like, okay, well, where do I start? Do I start with the newest stuff or do I go back to the beginning? So for you, for anybody who just heard Shoulders for the first time, and that is their introduction to the band, do you recommend starting there, or do you recommend going back to 2002 to the Second Stage Turbine Blade?
I think it's totally subjective. I mean, this answer changes all the time. It all depends on timing, right? Like, if we were to finish, say, the Baxis story, which is 3 more records, my answer to this question would be different. I would say, I'm really proud of Baxis 2. I think Baxis 2 really kind of stands off on its own. I also really love the idea of like coming into something late and then discovering the fact that there's all this other stuff to consume. But if I had to say, Second Stage Turbine Blade is basically the second part of the Amory Wars. That is the second part in this huge mythology that's probably going to ultimately be 12 parts. But that's the second part. The origin story of those characters is in a record called Year of the Black Rainbow. So technically that's the first. Here's the thing. So sorry, here's where my crazy gets into play.
All right, it's all good.
Every record has a numeric value. So Year of the Black Rainbow, year being singular, Second Stage Turbine Blade, second being 2, In Keeping Secrets of Silent Earth 3 is the third part, Good Apollo 4.
Oh my.
So every record has its numeric value within the story. The Baxis story arc, however, that's sort of more cryptic. The V for Baxis stands for the Roman numeral 5, and the axis in which all of the Amory Wars is now going to revolve. So it's a little heady.
No. This is absolutely, and I love it because I'm looking at a color code that explains a song can be exclusive, like Red, for example. A song can sometimes be exclusively from the point view of a character in the real. I mean, there's a breakdown of tone of who is speaking based on a color code. Your fan base is obviously very much into the minutia. We are as well for so many things that are pop culture, and obviously you're a science fiction fan. So what has rocked your? I got to assume you're a Dune fan, correct?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. I love all versions of Dune. I love the Frank Herbert book. I actually liked the David Lynch movie. I mean, when I saw that, I was a child.
So did Steve and I.
Yeah. I had no.
We're fans as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I really love the new one. So yes, I'm definitely a fan of Dune. Definitely a fan of Star Wars. I also really like I liked Krull. Are you guys familiar?
Krull, of course, Krull.
Yeah.
It's cheesy goodness.
Oh my God!
That sort of star, that weapon,
star that he would throw.
Awesome. Yeah.
The glaive.
The glaive.
Yeah,
dude, I wanted one of those so bad. Yeah, I totally. Yeah.
I was like, right, but so that was like the thing, right? So when I was a kid, like you'd sit watching HBO in hopes that Star Wars would come on, and HBO would give you give you Krull, they give you Ice Pirates.
Ice with Robert Urich. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Like so, those are like sort of the those are like the science fiction movies that I got kind of brought up on. Comic books, obviously. Anything sort of pop culture, like Saturday morning cartoons, He-Man, G.I. Joe. I was like I thought Tron, I think the era that I grew up in, I mean, I'm pre-adolescence, I'm in the 80s. So it's very character driven. People are trying to sell toys essentially. And so characters are very defined, even in the most cheesy way. When you think of G.I. Joe, you got Shipwreck, who's the sailor, or, so I think I was kind of lucky in that respect because I don't know that all that stuff really influenced me.
Oh, we talk about
hard.
this. Yeah, we talk about this, especially from that period. We were just talking about the movie Alien Nation. Do you remember that with the?
Yep, absolutely.
Right. All of those were they were very high concept, very easily consumable science fiction. But it's funny because that gives us a fixed point at what was your impetus for this, and it all makes sense. But that's very cool. So besides the comic book and the music, since everything obviously has a very theatrical aspect to it, would you take a foray into films? Is this something that has actually happened and we're unaware of, that you've announced any plans for films? Because I think your vision would be perfect for this.
We've attempted it, but on a very grassroots, sort of small level, not in a very serious way. Like, no one's really come to approach us, essentially. Like, at one point, Mark Wahlberg tried to get involved, his company Leverage, but it wasn't really. I mean, I think it was like the wrong time, because now I got to tell you, like, I get asked this question way more than I've ever. And I think it has a lot to do with maybe the Vaxxas story arc, because a lot of the accompanying art, the story, is very photographic. It's very photorealistic, and it's easier to see, I think, than it ever has been.
Right.
So I get asked it a lot. So I have a feeling it might happen. Nothing right now, but it just feels like the wave is pushing in that direction.
All right, so Claudio, to that end, in 1998, when you're writing in Paris, essentially you're creating this story arc, but the constant from 1998 until right now is the music, right? The music sort of is at the base of a lot of this stuff, and a lot of what your career has become. However, in 2022, you're sitting on a tour bus and you're Zooming with us, and we're in completely different states. So obviously, and in many ways, the technology over that amount of time has changed vastly, which allows you to tell the story in many different ways. Which part of the technology advancements that we've had over the last 2 decades is most appealing for Coheed and Cambria? Which part of it is just kind of a distraction? Like, what have you guys really embraced, and you're like, oh my God, this is a really great way for us to tell the story in a way that we really want to?
I mean, I always want to see it kind of get played out in a live action, just in the simplest form, whether it be television or movie. But there's so many other things now. We have VR, we have metaverses, we have all sorts of stuff. And I think there's a lot of source material for us to draw from, and again, like, that was never really my approach. It was really just to make, comic books, essentially, just to tell these stories in a different way, watch them get up off the record and come to life. And now it's like, yeah, sure, movies and television, but there's so many other places.
No rain. Lovely little sing along for you as you are making your way to wherever you may be headed to. All right, it's 10:15 on a Thursday morning. We're headed to No Sad Bro. We're right on the edge of it. That's tomorrow, of course, a Friday, which happens as soon as we're done with the show here.
Yes.
But a few things to handle before we do retreat for the day, and one of them happens to be giving away a prize with our lesson question, and we happen to have a 4-pack of Six Flags Great Adventure tickets to give to you. The question I think we're going to go with this morning is, we found out today, and I know this is hard to believe, but we did find out what E.T.'s real name is. And if you heard and then you should call right now. We should get that 4-pack of tickets to Six Flags Great Adventure. So what is E.T.'s real name, as heard earlier on the Preston and Steve show? 215-263-WMMR. Call now or forever hold your peace.
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
Brought to you this morning by Families Behind the Badge Children's Foundation. Donate to Casey's team, the WMMR Rock and Rollers, for the Bend to the Shore bike tour on July 23rd, benefiting the Families Behind the Badge Children's Foundation. Visit PrestonandSteve.com for more information. What's up this morning, Steve?
Well, the new live-action Snow White movie will reportedly forego the classic 7 dwarfs in favor of, quote, magical creatures of all sizes. One of those magical creatures is reportedly a guy named Jerry who works for Pep Boys. Doesn't sound very magical. Vanna White is negotiating her new contract with Wheel of Fortune. Vanna is reportedly asking for a 50% salary increase and a reduction of the alphabet by 12 letters.
Oh, my God.
And finally, Kylie Jenner admits to finally getting fed up and reveals, quote, the work done on her face during the latest episode of The Kardashians. Kylie says the only work she's done is convincing herself she's never had plastic surgery.
Alrighty, let's see if you do indeed know what E.T.'s real name is. 215-263-WMMR. And our first caller in was Scott, so we will go to Scott, of course.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, what's up, Scott? Good morning to see you. And what is E.T.'s real name, buddy?
You were talking about Eddie Timlinson.
Yes, Eddie Timlinson is exactly correct. Hang on.
Nice to meet you.
You're headed to Six Flags Great Adventure. I got a 4-pack of tickets for you. You can celebrate summer at Six Flags Great Adventure. Come early to experience the thrills of your favorite coasters, and then stay late to enjoy spectacular fireworks every Friday and Saturday night, or you can bring your appetite to the park's newest festival, which is Flavors of the World, featuring tasty cuisine from 7 different countries.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
I like the call. All right, a few things to roll out for music news. We will start with, hang on, I got to move some things around. Scott Stapp. Scott, by the way. Mark Tremonti, Brian Marshall, and Scott Phillips are together again because Creed has reunited.
Yay!
Although Stapp has done solo tours, the band has not been on the road since 2013. They announced yesterday they're going to play Summer Cruise to the Bahamas, April 18th and 22nd of next year. The band commented through their press release saying, "We're honored to be back and the unwavering support of Creed Nation throughout the years."
Nation.
It's all for you. Creed is back. Let's do this. The cruise will feature performances by other bands as well. Three Doors Down, Buck Cherry, Tonic, Vertical Horizon, Fuel, and several more.
They should make it a real Creed cruise and invite Carl Weathers.
The festival cruise will have an exclusive Q&A with Creed that is open to all guests.
Have any questions or anything? Anyone?
With activities for the band, autograph sessions, and a theme party. Tickets for the cruise to the Bahamas go on sale on July 25th.
I bet you that'll get some traction.
Yeah, sure.
They're now in that nostalgic pocket.
Blink-182's reunion has given the trio the biggest tour of their career, according to figures reported to Billboard. The North American leg tour of the group's world tour grossed $85.3 million and sold 564,000 tickets. Previously, their highest-grossing and best-selling concert tour, the 2009 concert tour, took in $22.5 million. So they're way over. That tour did sell 660,000 tickets, though. So more tickets, but less money that first time around. Bret Michaels recently said that he intends to regroup Poison.
Check out the big brain on Brad.
During 2025 for more touring and possibly some new songs. Their last album of original material, Hollyweird, came out in 2002. And the most recent recording was an all-covers album called Poisoned, which was released in 2007.
We're going to have him on tomorrow.
That is tomorrow?
It
Okay.
is going to be tomorrow.
He's great, man.
Because they're going to be in town this weekend. Bam Bam is hosting.
While promoting his solo tour, he talked about his love of his work and said, "I've embraced the changes. I didn't fight the digital world. I didn't say no when they asked me to play country festivals. I'm sincere, I'm passionate, and I'm a fan of music." Poison spent last summer on the road as part of the Motley Crue and Def Leppard Stadium tour.
Great interview. He's just a really he's a good guy.
Yeah, nice dude, for sure. Metallica put out a casting call for their superfans to be in their upcoming documentary. The filmmakers are looking for big personalities, unique characters, and unexpected stories that can be shared in the film. If you do a quick search online through Metallica, you should be able to find the information and see if you're available for that. And then finally, Keanu Reeves' band Dogstar is back. One day after playing at the LA venue The Roxy, the band announced Wednesday on Instagram that it will embark on an international tour this year and release its first album in over 2 decades. Is this the new single?
This is the new single.
All right, it is called Everything Turns Around. Let's listen to a little bit of this. This is Dogstar. Keanu Reeves on bass, by the way. And they are coming to Philadelphia. I'll give you that date in just a second. By the way, they categorize this song as a fun summer song.
All right.
And they said it has... playing December 14th at the Underground Arts.
God, if we can get John Wick on the friggin' show, that'd be awesome.
Only if we just call him John Wick the entire time.
Did you ever see Terminator? That was awesome.
The band is comprised, other than Keanu Reeves on bass, vocalist and lead guitarist Brett Demrose, and Robert Mailhouse is a fellow actor and drummer.
It's like playing with John Wick.
They played a 12-song set at the 2023 Bottle Rock Napa Valley Festival in May, and it was the group's first performance in more than 20 years. So they're getting back together, and they will be in town, which is really cool. And that's the end of music news for you. Yes, Casey.
I'd like to take this moment to give a shout out. There's a very special person in our lives who's celebrating their birthday today. And it's not Nick McElwain. You are a very special person that is celebrating a birthday today. But Steve Wilson from Wilson's Secret
that's
Sauce.
right.
It's his birthday today, and he's been so good to this show and so good to this radio station. And we love you, Steve, and your brisket.
Happy birthday, Steve.
Yay.
Thanks for letting us be there yesterday to give away the lottery tickets as well. All right, do I have any of the Vetri, Pizzeria Vetri pass $50 gift?
Biscuits.
I thought are there two of them left? All right, so we'll take callers 20 and 21.
Good numbers.
215-263 WMMR, and you will get the $50 gift card for Pizzeria Vetri, and they have 4 locations you can use that at: the Art Museum, Devon, Rittenhouse Square, and King of Prussia. And you can sign up for perks. It's PV Perks, Pizzeria Vetri's loyalty program. For every $1 spent, you earn a point to use towards future discounts. So we'll take callers 20 and 21, and we'll come back in just a second to wrap up today's program. Stay with us. We'll be back in just a moment.
Preston and Steve.
On 93.3 WMMR.
At this stage, I mean, I'd like to do everything. I mean, I think these characters are, I think the characters are really, you know, when I see our fans and I see them resonate with certain characters, that's so insane to me, you know, because I never anticipated that. I never anticipated anybody to see themselves connect with a character. That was just not on the top of my head. And like, when you see that fans have like a favorite, like you have Ambelina on their arm, or, you know, Willem Ryan, and, you know, it's just like, wow, you know, that's like me resonating with like Freddy Krueger or Darth Vader. You know, it's so cool.
No,
absolutely.
I want to talk about the fandom for a second here, and I'm going to lead this part by saying that we got a tweet from a fellow musician, Claudio. It is a Peanut from 311, and he's listening right now. So he tweeted at us. So I wanted to give a shout out to Peanut, who's listening this morning. But you mentioned the fandom, and I'm going to give you an example. And this is a killing two birds with one stone, because I want to thank this listener. This morning I came in and there was a box sitting over here in the studio, and I'm like, well, what the hell's that? And I open it up, and first of all, it is a 4-pack of the Rush beer. All right, that was sent to me. All right, and it came with a letter. It says, Preston, a beer to share with a fellow Rush fan. These are not for export in the USA, so I coordinated a delivery from Henderson Brewing Company in Toronto to an associate's friend in Ontario. It was then driven from Ontario to Michigan to his mother's house.
Oh, my God.
A work associate drove from Michigan to Ohio. From Ohio, it was driven to Harrisburg, where I picked it up, and I drove it home to Langhorne, PA, and I now share a few with you. That is from Dean Gutierrez, an MMR listener. And so the reason I bring this up, A, I wanted to thank Dean. And second of all, in the world of progressive rock, there is a connection with the fans that I think is unique to itself. And because of conceptual works like you guys do, Claudio, there's further discussion about the music other than, I really like that song. Man, that rhythm's great. Or this guitar part's really awesome. You start talking about the subtext of the characters and the stories and all that stuff, and it just makes for a really special fan base. And I wanted to get, your impressions on that.
Yes, we are so fortunate. I mean, our fan base is just amazing that they get into all of those sorts of things. Like last fall, we did a cruise that sold out, and everyone was super respectful. It was just, it's more of a family. We see the same faces a lot of the time. We've created relationships with our fans. It's something that, again, like I just never thought. I could only have dreamed of.
Right.
And it's like it's like happening.
I wonder.
We're lucky in it.
I wonder, Claudia, how much of that connects to, and you come from a point of being shy, and and I did stand-up comedy. I'm doing this now, but initially I was kind of shy, and I think there's something. I think that draws a certain. You don't want to make blanket statements. It's for everybody, obviously, if you enjoy. But I think you're probably connecting in a way because that's well known about you and your impetus for starting all this. That the people who don't feel that there's something quite for them, you're providing that. I mean, on a basic level, we can sense your joy over being able to do that. Would that be your greatest accomplishment, you believe, touching people who maybe up to now haven't found that thing that resonates for them?
I think so, absolutely. I mean, it's also like, it also provides something for me. Like, again, going and being shy, it's like it's hard for me to walk into a room of people I don't know and be a personality. I tend to kind of cower off, and that's the whole idea of being, the Coheed line of one among the fence. I'm the one, at the dance, like I'm the wallflower. It's just not for me to be a loud personality, and being on stage allows me to do that, and it allows me to be around people with like-minded thing. And sure, maybe it's something that I created that everyone's into, but it allows me to like kind of be open. It's a starting place for a conversation and friendship. So yeah, maybe that is I created friends.
You did. You clearly did.
If you're just tuning in, it's Claudio Sanchez, who's with Coheed and Cambria, and they're going to be in town in July. Tickets go on sale over the show at the Leah Corr Center tomorrow at 10 a.m. We played the song Shoulders as we were leading into the interview. You guys have a new song called The Liars Club. I saw the video, really cool animation. And like I said at the top, Claudio, not being aware of the full body of work of Coheed and Cambria, Liars Club seems like it has a different tone to it from the other songs that I've kind of skimmed through in your catalog. Dare I say, a little poppier. I mean, I'm trying to think of a better term, but what's the story behind the song and the sound of it all?
Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of this material was written pre-pandemic, through the pandemic, and I was just kind of open to all ideas. I figured, here's an opportunity for me to flex. Even Shoulders feels like a very new version. I mean, when that song was written, it was, primarily because, our A&R had threw this idea at me. I was up for the challenge. I created it. I put it aside. It wasn't going to happen, and then I brought it to my co-producer, Zach Cervini, and he was like, wow, this is a vibe that's not on the record. We should work with this. And that became a song. And kind of the same thing for Liars Club, although Liars Club, I think, was a little more immediate because I knew that was, I thought that was a theme that I really wanted to express on the record. Like, who doesn't want to, like, embrace the lie sometimes, when reality just isn't, the way you see it. Oh, yeah.
No. I was just wondering as you were talking and talking about that in Preston's question, and you mentioned Star Wars earlier. We have obviously know you're a fan. I think of George Lucas, who had the original vision, and perhaps tries to go in different ways. And he got eaten alive by his own fan base. Do you feel you get the latitude from your fan base to go out on these sort of creative ventures that might depart slightly from your sound?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, because it's not something that's foreign from what we've done. I mean, it's definitely we're definitely stretching with this new record more so than we have in the past. But we've also laid the groundwork in past records to do things like this. Okay. Like, if you guys fall into the discography at all, you find songs like Evagria or Number City. These are all songs that really kind of stretch outside of like what the comfort nucleus of what Coheed and Cambria does. So we're always kind of breaking out of that a bit. But we do it more so with this record. And I think it's really more appropriate because of the theme of the album, because the mind is opening up for this one character, and we're starting to realize that it experiences infinite. Like all infinite outcomes, this one character of Vaxis is like, consumed with, like, instead of seeing the world as we see it, he sees it as maybe the static of a television, because he can see every outcome at one moment.
Sounds like Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah.
Right.
does.
But almost so much more that he physically can't interact with any of them, if that makes any sense, into like a catatonic state, because it's so consuming, so overwhelming. And that's why I think, it made sense conceptually to really kind of step outside of like I said, the nucleus of what we do and kind of stretch. Like you'll hear songs like Disappearing Act, which really kind of stretches the window of the waking mind. There's all sorts of stuff on this record. I'm really, really proud of it. And Liars Club, I thought, was a really cool statement to put out there, just to kind of get everyone's feet wet,
I love these concepts. It's really deep and heady stuff, but let's go back just a little bit. Did your old band break up because of an argument over gas money? Is that correct?
No, I don't know what. No, but where's that from? That's like a Quidditch question. That's
Wikipedia. It was on Wikipedia.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute.
We're like, what? So we definitely almost broke up because of there were several moments, but to be completely honest, when Coheed first started back in 2002, the attention to the band was so intense. We would play shows and opening for bands, and we would play, and once we were done, the place would empty.
Oh.
It was severe. We had no idea that we had that impact at that time. And so it really got to me as the guy with the hair, the focus point. I didn't realize how much of a magnet I would become. And it kind of scared me. So much so that, I broke down, and gas money wasn't never, that might have been who the hell knows? I have no idea. But for real, my mentality was disintegrating.
Wow.
Coming from a person that, again, I am very much an introvert. It was really hard to be to have that so much attention when I grew up in my adolescence with none.
Huh.
So, yeah.
Were you guys friends first or bandmates first, do you think?
Travis and I have been friends since we were 13. I met him through a mutual friend.
WMMR Island in the Sun. It is 10:34, and it is Thursday morning. We're on the cusp of a Friday. Very close to no sad bro at this point. The Preston and Steve Show. Kind of warm today, but not crazy. 87 degrees are high, partly cloudy skies. The humidity levels still remain a little bit touchy, and then we have some thunderstorms tomorrow, high 83. Saturday's looking good, 85 and partly cloudy, and I understand, and I'll believe it when it happens, but it's supposed to be a little less humid this week.
That's what I've heard over the weekend.
I don't know if we'll be able to actually feel it or not, but we will find out.
My hair will let you know.
Yes, please. We can just monitor your hair and see from that alone. I would like to thank very much John and Christina from Pizzeria Vetri.
Hey!
For
That's
coming by
a good
today.
pizza.
Oh, man. And the meatballs?
I have nothing to hate him.
Fan-a-freaking-tastic. But they brought by some great stuff, and don't forget they're located in the Art Museum, Devon, Rittenhouse Square, King of Prussia, and they even have these workshops, pizzeria workshops and things, and they do a limoncello making class, which sounds pretty intriguing to me. So we thank them for bringing by that stuff and to give it away to you today. And we also want to, one more time, wish a happy birthday to Nick McElwain. Hey. Happy birthday to you, Nick.
And you mentioned the weather on Saturday, and it'd be a great night for an outdoor show in Camden. So hopefully that holds.
Yeah, you're going to both Dave Matthews Band shows.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Brent is going to both as well. So Brent will be there after his shift tomorrow, and then Saturday, a nice little mini college reunion.
Brent sounds like is he more of a fan than you?
No, nobody's a bigger fan than me.
Okay.
No, Brent's it's great. And what I love about Brent's fandom is that Brent is he'll go hardcore metal stuff, and then he jams out with Dave Matthews Band. So it's fun to learn. I really want to go to the Gorge with Brent this year.
That'd be cool.
We're looking at a video, a GIF of Nick at Camp Out for Hunger, and it's Casey dropping a water-filled condom on Nick's head. It's one of the greatest photographic moments ever. I think our buddy Brian Miller from Course Photography took that series of pictures. So
caught it in the moment. Looks amazing.
For your celebration, Nick.
It's fantastic.
Pierre's here. Hey, man.
Wow. Nice EBS test. They went well.
I hit kill instead of send.
No,
I made a mistake.
I found them both very humorous. Here's a test.
Yeah.
Usually you hear all those funny noises.
Oh, no, the funny noises were oh, no! The F, I didn't play. He was yelling the whole time.
Excellent.
Trying to figure it out. So.
I've never done that.
It technically was an emergency. So, yeah.
Right. Hey, I did have a question. Kathy, what time are you going to be at Club Risque tonight dancing?
Wait, why did you tell him what I said?
No, huh?
Oh.
I just, me and my bros are going to go down there. And so, I mean, it's cool that Marissa and Sarah are there, but the fact that you're going to be there and dancing.
No,
I mean,
other Kathy, not me.
Yes,
No.
listener Kathy.
Listener Kathy will be
Who
there.
now hates us.
it's really you.
Stop. It's not.
It's
always
going to
been
be
you.
you.
Yeah. You'd be like a petticoat. You'll do a fan dance.
Yes, a petticoat. You could dance a petticoat junction.
No, but I tell you what, the girl that's modeling the Preston and Steve boy shorts is a stunningly gorgeous Club Risque dancer.
Her name is Cassandra, and she's featured a lot. And I don't know if she'll be there or not tonight, but she is a risque dancer, so you can see her there one of the times.
She's Kathy's daughter.
What?
You're going to be
the other
there tonight.
Kathy.
Yeah, not you.
Not me.
There's too many Kathys in this room.
Is that her Instagram account?
Yes, it is. It's what is it?
It's Lil Risque. It's LILRSQUE.
So many things happening.
So many things.
Steve and I were out last night at the opening of Rob Wasserman's new place, Vinyl.
Great.
Really great place.
Yes. Really
down
enjoyed
on
it.
15th Street, just off of Walnut, and Marissa was there, and Bill was there, and Matt.
I'm going to get Steve's review of that tomorrow on the Connoisseur segment.
Nice.
And hear a little bit about that. It'll be a nice little restaurant moment to have on that tomorrow.
Yeah, it's they've got good food munchies and beverages. It's not a full-fledged restaurant, but they'll have like cabaret acts there too, which is very
cool.
nice. Yeah,
That's fun.
So it's a very small music venue, but a lovely bar and tables and couches and things like that.
Nice. You and your bros to go hang out.
Yeah, well, we're going
After
there
the strip
first,
club.
and then first it'll be Vinyl.
Yeah.
Then on to see Kathy at Club Risque.
Club Risque.
The other Kathy.
Tonight.
No,
yeah.
Kathy Romano, my wife of 87 years.
87. Congratulations.
I let her go to those things because you got to.
Well, that's what makes your relationship work.
Is that you let her do things?
Yeah, I let her do
Yeah,
things.
you take her out of the basement and you let her do things.
As a male chauvinist pig.
Good news.
I was going to say something.
Yeah,
but
I'm sending you to the strip club.
letting you out.
She's out.
Yeah.
Yeah, count your blessings. No, what a terrible. Where did that come from? I don't know. Because that's of course
Stop while you're at.
not who I really am, etc. Not at all. All right, let's move on. Letter?
Yeah, sure.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
All right, the Preston and Steve show is brought to you today by the letter
R as in rocket.
All right, and we have one more letter to go. Tomorrow we will give away a pair of Terrace Club tickets for the Pocono 400, which is this Sunday. It's the 23rd at Pocono Raceway. And the tickets include shaded seats for the race, pit paddock passes to get up and close to the areas in the pit area pre-race, and food and beverage as well. And NASCAR weekend at Pocono Raceway is happening July 21st to the 23rd. Tickets
And Kathy's dad.
available at PoconoRaceway.com. Look for Kathy's dad there, by the way. What's happening on today's program?
Well, I will have. I'll have more of those tidal wave festivals, and it'll be a tidal wave of love coming out of your radio as those tickets, including Jelly Roll, who will be on one of many artists on the bill, coming mid-August to Atlantic City. We have blocks of Chris Cornell. It's his birthday. We have Lincoln Park. It's Chester's passing day. And we have Pearl Jam. Someone else had requested that. It's going to come to me.
Name
but
slips, yeah. I know,
name
yeah.
slips away, but someone had wanted it. And so as a birthday present to her, Nicoletta, I think her name is, we're going to send that out.
All right, very good. Thank you. You have to go, don't you,
That's
Kathy?
what he just
Dude.
texted me. We got to go.
Yeah, Kathy's son, Jace, is here. I've never seen a more less impressed kid in my life. He's sitting here looking at his watch, like tapping it, going,
Where are you going?
We got to go.
We're going to the Phillies game.
Ah,
and so he He's telling me we got to go. He wants to try to meet the players, get an autograph, catch a foul ball.
Mhm.
Right.
Do it
that
all.
stuff.
I want to thank our sponsor. Today's program is brought to you by Duncan. The Preston and Steve Show runs on Duncan tomorrow for a Friday No Sad Bro version of the show. We have a lot of guests. Brett Michaels will be joining us, which is cool. One of our favorite comedians, Godfrey, is stopping by. And if you watch Abbott Elementary, Lisa Ann Walter.
She's great.
Will be in our studio tomorrow as well. So it's going to be a great way to end the week. That's it. We're done. Rage on. Have yourself a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow, gang. Bye-bye.